station. Dirt and Sprague.
And 2 down in the 9th for the Red Sox. Here comes Duran. And a little flare on the infield. That'll be caught by Holiday. That's the ball game. The Red Sox lose for the first time since the 1st of July. The 15-game winning streak has come to an end here tonight. Baltimore wins this one 5-1.
Andy Dirt Johnson, Brandon Sprague.
Here's Velda. Velda gets behind the defense. Velda into the box, plays it across. Mora scores! Felipe Mora in the 92nd minute scores his first goal since the season opener, and we're level at Providence Park.
Dirt and Sprague on the Fan Sports Network.
All right, 6:02 in the Rose City. Time for Dirt and Sprague on Portland Sports Leader 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network. Hello, good morning. Happy Thursday, everybody.
What is happening?
How you doing today?
I'm getting a little steamy in here. I like it. Like we got a love scene going on.
Okay, it's not just my eyes.
No, you're not.
Okay.
No, you don't.
It's very
have,
humid in here.
It's very humid.
Feels like the alligator exhibit at the zoo when you walk through the rainforest area.
Well,
there's a bird chirping over here somewhere. It's like a rainforest vibe to it. I'm digging it, man.
I'm not. I don't like humidity. I'm not good in humidity.
Just trying to turn the heat up. It only says it's 69 in here, but man, we are fogging up. We need the Titanic hand on the wall, hand on the window, dragging down. You don't know what's going on in here, Swigard. You can't even see us right now.
I have no. I just thought it was my eyes. My
things are getting spicy.
My night got extended at the ballpark when the Hops couldn't hold a 6-2 lead in the 8th.
I don't get how this room, when I turn up the thermostat to 75 sometimes just to get it hot when it's freezing.
Just to get it warmed up in the morning.
It doesn't steam up.
No, it does not.
When I went to 70 from a 64,
right,
I thought, okay, I'll build it a little slower. And now it's steaming up, and, it's like super humid in here.
It doesn't make any damn sense.
I don't understand how it works in here.
I think we've come to the conclusion after our many years in this new studio that the heating and cooling system does not work properly.
No.
And it's a bugaboo for almost every show.
We
it's
have
too
these
hot, it gets too
metal,
cold.
hermetically sealed cubes that we got dropped in, and for some reason...
Why didn't we just use rooms? Why didn't we build rooms out? Why did we get metal?
You really want to open that can of worms this morning?
Is it more expensive to do rooms? I don't know. I don't know what the difference in cost is, but that would be my guess.
If you're wondering like what we're describing here is, think of like an old school office setting, like Mad Men. That's kind of what our building inside looks like.
Yes.
Old school, kind of open floor concept.
Yes.
Right.
Instead of having rooms and then building out studios in those rooms, there was nothing here. So they got seemingly like trailers is almost what it would look like. Something you'd see on the back of a train. And they slid him in here like a tiny home.
Yes.
And it's our studio.
That's what we sit in every day.
It's really, like, they could honestly, if somebody else came in this building, they could slide this thing out, take it apart.
Oh, easily.
Versus, I don't know why we didn't just build walls and make regular studios.
I'd imagine it was an expense, but I don't know. I don't know the firm answer on that.
No, not actually true. I wondered that when we started, and I asked somebody that would know, and I said it had to have saved us a lot to do that, and they said actually it didn't.
Really? They just thought this was the way to do it.
They thought this was the best approach. We also spent like $30,000 on fart boxes.
We did.
Nobody uses.
Yeah. We have fart. I know. I still think we should have the fart box punishment for people around the office for egregious behavior, a la Joe Fisher taking things out of the fridge.
Stealing things out of the fridge.
We should be able to put him in the fart box and go fart in the fart box and make him sit in there for like 15 minutes. I think that's an appropriate punishment for office crimes.
Then can we get the humidity turned up for him?
Now we're talking. Now it's a hot fart. And nobody wants a hot fart.
No.
Nobody wants a humid fart either. Then
I'm not digging that at all.
Then it sticks. You can taste it. It's not fun for anybody. Not a good outcome.
No, it's not.
Just got to make sure he's got
on.
no client
I
meetings.
want to yeah, the stench is going to linger with you, Joe. I want to take like a straw and stick it through the roof and see if we can get some fresh air in here, man. Get some ventilation.
Well, we have like, when we come in here, we have like internet issues or we have connectivity issues with some of our server stuff because I just think it's the time of day.
Right.
I don't think any of the other shows ever have these problems, and I've always been wondering, like, is it like that with the temperature as well? Like, when they set it to 68, is it your standard 68 like it is at home?
Does it stay normal for the rest of the day, or are we just dealing with the monkey system?
Because we can set this thermometer to 68, and at some point it'll jump to 74, or it'll drop to 61. And we'll get accused of like, oh, you're freezing each other out, or what are you doing? It's so hot in here. And it's like, I don't know what to do here.
I'm just trying to find the Goldilocks happy medium. That's all I'm looking for.
Exactly.
Here. I don't want to be too warm. It never holds.
That's the part I have the problem. It
never
holds.
It's got to stay at the temp that we set it at. That's what we need.
Yeah.
And if that happened in your house, you'd be pretty livid, right? If you set your AC to 69, nice, and all of a sudden it just is hovering
It just
around.
keeps going till it's like 62.
Whoa, AC. Turn it down. I don't need you at 62. Now you're too chilly.
I was told this is a programmable thermostat.
I got a number on my wall. You're not staying true to the number. That's all I asked for.
We need to get a Nest.
We do need a Nest.
That seems to be the best approach.
We do. I'm still thinking about buying one of those YouTube ad air conditioners that I've seen. I don't know
what?
if they're legit. They're like their YouTube ads are everywhere, and every time I see them, I'm like, this seems like it's too good to be true. But every time I see the ad, they make it seem legitimate. I can't remember the name of it, but they're those little skinny air conditioners, and you slap them to the wall, and they only cost like $50, and it's supposed to work as good as an industrial air conditioner, which I'm sure is not true, but I'm probably going to bite the bullet and buy one at some point.
I have a neighbor behind me, and we had our window open last night because we had all those thunderstorms.
It's nice. Yeah, clear it out a little bit, get some fresh air.
I mean, I'm not kidding. It might have been thundering for 45 straight minutes, like did not stop. It was just constantly.
As the thunder rolls.
Exactly. And then the end of the Timbers match, I noticed they had ended up picking up what
it finally
we had.
worked its way west about 9:45.
It was working slowly. But a neighbor behind me, I heard her look, because I can see down into everybody's yard from my window. And so I heard this woman come out of the house directly behind me, and she had every window open, and she's like, finally, it's cooling off. And I just thought, that's not a tiny house she lives in.
Right.
I don't think they have AC or a functional working AC if you're complaining about it being too hot.
Yes, if you're coming out and finally opening the windows and screaming, thank you, Jesus, for cooling off, you don't have air conditioning.
Yeah, you don't.
You do not have functional air
conditioning. I don't know
conditioning.
how you're doing it.
It's brutal. It's brutal. It's a small enough house where we can set one up on each side and they kind of funnel the cold air at each other.
So you have the standard stand ones?
Yes, the standard stand ones. Put the little slit in the window, close the window, turn it on. So
for your house, actually, that makes sense.
It's not bad. For about 80% of the day, it's totally fine. And then by the time you get to like 4 o'clock, there's enough built-up heat that your balls are sweating no matter what you do. And you got to be near an air conditioner in order to feel comfortable. Because there's little pockets of the house that the cold air won't reach. And those pockets of the house you just try to avoid because it's about 83 degrees right there. But in here it's 78, and it's not that bad. We can handle that. We can manage that.
You can get through that. Yeah,
we can manage 78
when it's 100 out.
But to your neighbor's point, you know exactly what I did last night when the thunderstorm started rolling in. Every window opened up in the house.
Yeah.
God, thank God the cold air is rolling in.
It's a little cooler.
It's brutal. Like that's the one thing about the hot air that kills me when you get the extended stretch is that it stays so hot late into the night that we go to bed so early that there's not really the airing out opportunity. Like if I didn't have an early morning job, it wouldn't bother me because I'd be up till midnight and you'd open the windows, it'd be fine. But I'm not going to do that and then leave the windows open all night. I'm not comfortable with that. So there's like a brief period where you're blowing hot air into the house and then you close it up and then you don't open it until you wake up and leave for work.
See these people in Arizona that are trying to show you how hot it is where they live, that they're just taking frying pans outside. And then like it's been out here for an hour and then they drop an egg and it's like it's like cooking, and I'm like, it's kind of cool, but also like
that's what you get for living in Arizona.
That sucks.
That's what living in Arizona is all about.
But people that live in Arizona tell you they like living in Arizona.
I mean, for 9 months out of the year, 8 months out of the year,
you think it's that many?
It's delightful.
It can't be that many.
When does it get hot?
I think their
like
hot
in May?
starts way before ours.
End of May, start of June.
We're over 100 at the end of May.
Yeah, you're consistently up in the 105s.
Because the last time I went to Arizona would have been for spring training. So that's end of March when we were there. And there was even a couple of days then it was a little chilly at nighttime. It'd get down into like the high 50s, low 60s, which is kind of chilly for Arizona. But I don't remember it being over 100. But again, that's about 2 months earlier. So you're probably your May through September sucks butt.
I bet you it goes in October.
You think it lingers
if our
in
October is hot?
Yeah, we can have some hot days in October. That's true.
About 60% of our October is pretty nice.
October might be the most underrated month in Portland.
That or September.
Great.
That or September.
Yeah.
Like October, it starts to fully cool off because you can still get some hot as balls days early in September.
We've established this. Our summer is truly July to mid-October.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is Portland's summer.
If you stay dry through
June
Halloween,
largely is too inconsistent to count on.
you could get some cold, you could get some hot, but it's a mixed bag. Every year is going to be a little bit different.
Yep.
Yeah, October's super underrated, man. man. Super underrated month for us.
Well, we got a great show today.
We do, yeah.
A lot to discuss.
We're all over the place today.
Are we?
I think so.
Oh.
Why?
I just think there was a lot of, there was a lot of actual game action across several different leagues and sports last night.
Was there?
There was.
take
Baseball,
your word for
soccer.
There were
WNBA?
15 MLS games. I think the WNBA, it was their last game before All-Star Weekend, so they had a lot of games.
I had the quad box on for a bit. It was the Caitlin Clark game and then transitioned into the Fire game when they started. I can't remember who the random MLS game was, but nobody was there.
I thought the Timbers attendance started out pretty sparse too, from what I'm accustomed to seeing on my TV.
Was it too hot at the start of the game?
They
Maybe
were
they
all
showed
over
up
at the
late.
Kingston partying with Isaac and Sue. That was the problem.
Is that what it was?
That pregame
All 10,000
festivities.
of them were
Exactly.
in the Kingston.
Slowly line up and get their way to
Well,
Providence Park. It takes a while.
I'm not going to pretend that I dabbled in any baseball outside of my team.
I had the Cubs. Who were the Cubs playing? I had that game on my TV. The Tigers, I think. It was just
Cubs
in
and
my quad
Tigers?
box.
Yeah, that was on the ESPN.
Yeah, I didn't watch any other MLS. I watched some of the WNBA. I saw the Fever score, and I was like, yikes, Connecticut sucks.
Yeah.
And then I had the Fire game on, almost had the comeback complete. But I don't know if you saw this last night, and maybe you didn't. Miami played their MLS game.
I definitely did not see this.
Oh, my God. I hate doing things where I have to tell you, look it up.
But I'll look it up.
So that maybe the worst goal given up I've ever seen in my entire life. And
as bad as you could
This
think.
is 6-year-olds playing goalkeeper.
Miami gives up the goal or Miami scores
It's an
the
own goal.
It's an own goal because it's literally so bad. You go, how
A total whiff.
is it possible?
Okay, I'm watching. They're kicking it around. Let's kick it to the goalie.
It doesn't even look like it's a real
Oh,
shot.
my God.
It's
Oh,
it makes
no.
the Younghoe Koo
No.
USA World Cup
Yeah.
moment look like
I mean, just a flat-out
standard
whiff.
procedure. This is a goalie who just completely misses picking the ball up.
He's got a smile on his face afterwards, too.
Can't
Yeah.
like you're
believe
trying
what he
to
did.
like
I don't
laugh it
know.
off.
Yeah.
You're smiling about that. I'm cutting you.
I think I am too.
Get outta here.
I'm booing him forever.
Now, Miami did come back and win and had a spectacular goal later in the game.
that saves him a little bit. Man, nobody is happier than that guy that they won that game.
Well, I mean, every so often you see something in sports, and I think all of us that played sports or still like to think we can play sports, we see it and we go, God, how can you do that? Right? Like, I can watch, what was his face you told me in the golf? He missed like...
the short putt
The
to win the
short putt.
Masters. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but the 2-footer to win on 18.
Yeah, I could tell you all, dude, I'm not missing that putt. I'm also not going to pretend that I haven't missed
2-footers.
2-footers.
just absolute...
Without the Masters
Nobody
on the line.
says good, but it's
Right.
so close to you that you think it's good. So you go up there and you hit it and you miss, and you're like, well, that was good anyway.
Right.
Like,
I was
I'm
gonna
not
count
going to
that.
pretend that is a play that I will put down and say would never happen. That's ridiculous.
That reminds me, it's somewhat similar of, do you remember I think it was the Pirates and the Cubs about 3 years ago, and they had the
I
guy.
definitely don't remember this.
So and once I explain it, I'm sure you'll remember it. They had a runner on third. Maybe the bases were loaded, and the guy hit a slow ground ball to first base. And the first baseman ran the batter back to home plate, and none of them realized just to keep running.
It's an automatic out.
And it led to they were just chasing him, and then I think Javi Baez they threw it home, and the guy ended up being safe. Javi Baez was the guy who was batting, ends up beating the throw to first. They then throw to first, and it goes into right field. He goes to second, and I'm pretty sure it ended up like a bases clearing triple. That was an infield single that he hit to the first baseman.
Well, that just happened in the Royals game. The Royals just gave up, like a week and a half ago, they just gave up an infield, inside the park, 3-run
like
home
just
run.
a little league infield single home run. Like, what are we doing here, guys?
It looks
How is this? You're a big league baseball player.
like, you know, the scene in Angels in the Outfield, and Christopher Lloyd is in there, and he's making the ball move for the other team, and they're running into each other. Like, it looked comically like that. It was grown professional baseball players
just can't pick it up and throw it.
not knowing how to throw to standard first base. It was like, overthrow, overthrow. And they had an inside the park 3-run home run that didn't leave the infield.
One error and one bad throw is completely understandable. When the entire team's brain breaks, that's when you question what's happening right now. Guys are going to make errors. That happens.
Cosmic forces.
Throw a ball into right field. Okay, that happens every once in a blue moon. But for everybody to do it simultaneously, everybody just combusts at the same time.
Yeah.
It breaks your brain when you see it. Those are impressive because it's a total team failure. At least in the Miami goalie situation, it wasn't like the guy kicked it into his own net and the goalie then missed it. It wasn't a bad pass. He just whiffed. It was kind of a one-man error there. He is so thankful that they won that game because if you lose that game 1-0, that's remembered. And now it's kind of like a funny footnote in a comeback win.
I mean, it's not the same, but we do this sometimes in football.
Yeah, we do.
The Andrews catch, no catch in
Yes.
Buffalo. You're
How do
like,
you not hold on to that?
Eric Andrews. How do you not do that?
You're an NFL tight end. It's a 3-yard pass. It hit you in the stomach, dude.
I was watching guys throw the football at the Fan Golf Classic on a tee box, and some of them were dropping it. I'm like, I mean, it happens.
It's a full-size football, man. All right, that's a big pigskin we're
But
tossing around.
that's inexcusable. That's not even a real shot on goal. That's almost just like a little ditzy little kick.
He was staring
near
at
the goal.
something in the stands, clearly. Or...
He was just not paying
What's her
attention.
name?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's her name?
Veronica was in row 4 and just totally distracted him in a moment that he needed to pay attention to where the ball was.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Well, we got
They
a
did
lot
come
to
back
get
and win
through today.
3-2.
They what?
They came back and won 3-2.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Save the day.
Okay.
Are we talking about the win or are we talking about the stupid play?
I couldn't have told you that they played at all last night. Now I've learned both things.
Yeah, it was like the return night for a lot of teams.
I get it. 15 games is a big deal. Welcome back to the MLS, around the league. Did the Timbers end up kind of filling up from a crowd standpoint? Or did it stay pretty sparse last night?
I mean, I don't want it to sound like nobody showed up, but
Sure.
just when it started,
You assume after a
I saw
month.
a lot of empty seats, and I'm not accustomed to seeing a lot of empty seats on that section. It was the nice
Right.
section.
Especially after a month of not having a home game.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, you should be jonesing for it to
Looked
be
like a
back.
slight
Was there-
late arriving crowd, maybe.
That happens
Was
from
it
time to time.
I mean, the Fire was playing at the same time.
Game started at 7:30.
Could have been the heat
No, I
because at
know.
the start of the day it looked like it was going to be 100
Yeah.
degrees, and so it might have been people being
Yeah,
like, I'm
just
not going to go
bailed on
sit in
sitting
that.
out in it.
And then by the time a game started, it was it cooled off a ton last night because of the cloud cover and the thunderstorms.
I did investigative journalism yesterday.
Look at you.
Oh, look at you.
I called around.
Hashtag sources.
I started sniffing. This Tom Dundon stuff's bothering people. So I called I texted a couple different markets, one of which will go today, by the way, at 8:04. And I basically was like, hey, have you guys heard anything in your market? And it was largely like, no, the city's not interested.
We don't want it.
No, the city is in no way ready to have it. No, there's nobody here to buy it. And I was like, oh,
Okay.
good to know.
That makes me feel better.
Because I was thinking about the Blazer relocation thing. And so I perused around, and I got access to all these different markets and people in them. So I was shooting texts, and I was like, all right,
Cross them off the list.
Tampa Bay, no NBA.
Tampa Bay don't want an NBA team?
Well, they said it would be cool, but no, they're not going to get.
Yeah.
And they don't think they don't imagine in their lifetime they see an NBA team.
It's the funny thing about the idea of moving, of playing the game of if you were to move to fill in the blank city, what fiddle are you in that city? Like if you go to Tampa, the Lightning have won multiple Stanley Cups, are one of the best run hockey
Buccaneers
organizations. The Bucks are the Bucks. They've been there forever. They've won
And if
Super
the Rays
Bowls.
get a new stadium that people actually want to spend
Right.
time in,
And
they're
then-
a well-run baseball organization.
They are. They actually win at a relatively
So you think
consistent level.
If Tampa Bay got an NBA team,
I
you
think they're the
they'd be
fourth fiddle.
Fourth?
Yes.
think
If
they'd
they
be-
took the Blazers, they'd be fourth fiddle in that. In
And
Tampa
what
Bay.
sort of basketball tradition, history, hotbed is going on in Tampa?
Right. Like go play the game in Kansas City. The
Kansas
Chiefs
City
are the
has
Kings.
a chance.
They will always
once
be the Kings.
had an NBA team.
How long ago was that?
We'll find out at 8:04 because
83, I think, was the
Right,
last
how many
year.
people are alive that
That's where
remember that?
Calabro started his career.
Look at that.
Colin King's doing something
Well,
on the
the
broadcast.
reason we're going to Kansas City today at 8:04 is because of something you just said that everybody just says without actually knowing yes
Right.
or no
That's
on
true.
that.
Because you would be easily second fiddle to the Chiefs. You would not
I mean,
be
it's
bigger
not
than the Royals.
even a competition.
The
You're not
Royals
gonna
have been
be-
there forever. They've won a World Series
disagree
in
with you
different generations.
I don't think it
I
would
disagree
take
with you there.
much to get ahead of the Royals.
I don't either.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I've
you
been to a
gotta-
Royals game. Have
the
you been to a
biggest
Royals
fight
game?
is-
Huh? Boots on the ground?
It's
no,
fun.
but can't you go to a Royals game
But they can't
during
keep
the non-basketball
dudes
season?
from diving in the fountain.
I'm just
so-
saying, I've been to Kansas City. I've been to a baseball. I know what Kansas City baseball means. Now, it was in the middle of their World Series
How many
runs,
games
but
did you go to?
2.
Went to two. I know what it all means.
As an
Atmosphere was
expert.
great, dude. Atmosphere was solid.
You're the biggest expert on this show.
Hey,
And
how many Kansas City Royal games you been to, Swag? Exactly. Why don't you sit this one out? Huh?
but you've been to a Chiefs game.
I have been to a Chiefs game.
I think
I've
you're
been
third
there.
fiddle there. With the new team, I think you're third
totally
fiddle.
disagree with you.
Why would the NBA be bigger than Major League Baseball in Kansas City?
Because what's happening in Kansas City is last place baseball.
Are they in last place?
They're like one of the worst teams.
Okay. They've been relatively
Your
good.
bigger issue is
Their World
KU
Series was
basketball.
kind of a minute
Jayhawks
ago, if you think
basketball.
about
I'm pretty sure they were in the playoffs literally last year.
Oh, I'm not saying they haven't made the playoffs. I said their World Series
The
title.
point being, you have 40 years of history with one team and then a new team that's coming in. Are the Blazers in Kansas City going to be good?
If the NHL put a team in Portland, would the Timbers
Would be much
second?
bigger than the hockey team at first, for sure.
than an NHL team?
Yes, I absolutely think so.
I think you're underselling the excitement and impact of having a new sports team.
I would be thrilled about it, but I also am not going to ignore the fact that the Timbers basically sell out every game and have an awesome following.
If we got a baseball team, are the Timbers second fiddle or
Baseball is
third?
bigger than the NHL. I think baseball would probably jump the Timbers, but I don't think the NHL would right away. You might get there if you win, but not right away. No way.
Really?
No chance.
It kind of surprised me to hear you
Yeah.
say that.
I think when you have history built up with teams and fan bases there,
I'm not saying you're not right
like,
on that part.
from
I
day
totally
one. If
acknowledge
you win an
that.
NBA
But
championship,
how
by
many
all means.
non-soccer fans are there versus core 4 sports fans in our city?
How many of those core 4 sports fans are not fans of hockey?
Well, it's not about being a diehard fan of hockey to go to a hockey game or care.
I think the fan support would
They
be
haven't
good.
had a reason here to care
Right,
outside of a Winterhawk season.
No doubt about it. I'm not saying that nobody would care about basketball in Kansas City. That's not the point. I'm just not going to poo-poo the history of I know the Royals are a pretty big deal in Kansas City.
Oh, I don't disagree
They won a
with
World
you
Series
there.
in the 80s. They were terrible. Then they went to 2 World Series and won another one.
But if the Royals
Bobby
are
Witt Jr. is one of the faces of Major League Baseball.
But if the Royals are not good again next year and an NBA team showed up,
is good and competitive, sure. Then maybe you make the jump.
even if the team's not good, I still think people would jump in because it's in the arena, it's finally filled. We've had a team years ago, but yeah. So I perused around to the different markets that people throw out with relocation. We'll go to one of them today, and a few others were exactly what I thought. Austin, dude, we have the Spurs playing like 3 games here this year.
Yeah, they go play a couple games there every year.
Somebody else in Nashville, we're like, yeah, we're actively in on sports. We want baseball. We're not opposed to the idea of basketball, but they're like, it'd be the Grizzlies. And I said, you feel confident in that? They responded with, so you in your mind have the state of Tennessee with 2 NBA teams?
Right.
And
What's going to happen with the Grizzlies?
I don't actually. That's
No.
why I've been saying what I've been saying, but good to know that's how you guys feel out there.
Yes,
So-
they don't need 2 NBA teams there. They have a hard time supporting one of them.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll go to Kansas City today, 8:04. It's a Magic Hat Thursday. Dirt and Sprague, let's get it going. We start next on 105.1 The Fan.
McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the substitution of Christian Velda in the 55th minute jump-started the Timbers' attack. That allowed them to escape Providence Park with a 2-2 draw against FC Dallas. Velda assisting on Felipe Mora's game-time goal in stoppage time. Portland back at it Saturday night hosting Real Salt Lake. Paige Beckers was back in the lineup for the Dallas Wings, and that was just a bit too much for the Fire to deal with. Fourth quarter rally came up short, 101-97. The loss of concern, Sarah Ashley Barker left the game in the first half with a leg injury, but the Fire are now off for the All-Star break. PGA Tour back in the States, just outside the Twin Cities for the 3M Open. Vince Whaley, your leader early on, 4 under through 7. Scotty Scheffler playing in the tournament. He is 1 under through 3. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the
All right, welcome back in. 6:28 on Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 The Fan. Got some football stuff to dive into today.
Football stuff.
Camps are about to open.
Here we go, man. Here we go.
Rapidly approaching. By the way, if you're curious, LSU returned 61% of its production. Also bringing in portal guys because they have a new coach. And that new coach is currently speaking at SEC Media Days, and he's very tan.
Very tan.
Like, more tan than I think I've ever seen him. So, maybe feeling good about what his team is?
Yeah. A lot of hot yoga out in the sun maybe in the summer. He also, I'm just following along because Lane Kiffin's up at the podium right now, so they get 30-minute, there's a 30-minute block that they get, and you're allowed to give as long of an opening statement as you want. And then whatever time is left
His question
is the question time, and I'm pretty sure he made it to 22 minutes. And everybody was applauding his efforts to filibuster to not face 30 minutes. Because some guys will just go for 5 minutes and be like, all right, fire away, what do you got? Kiffin knows there's a lot of heat right now. And so he talked, people said, I think 22 minutes, and now he's only getting 8 minutes of questions, and then it'll be done.
What I don't understand about that strategy is that you're there all day. You're going to be doing the
He's
car
already
wash.
done multiple. Yeah, he already
so it's
sat
like
down.
You're not avoiding questions.
Right. I think it's just the big screen on S because not all of them are on TV. The other ones are off to the side. I don't know. He wanted to filibuster his way through the majority of it.
Very, very interesting, that Lane Kiffin. But,
Old Lane train.
I want to play something for you that I saw yesterday, and I kind of laughed, and I'm wondering how we think this is going to go, because I think when you look up the history of this guy, you think winner. You think this is a good move.
So winner, chicken dinner?
I don't blame anybody for having that thought. John Harbaugh, fired by the Ravens, hired by the Giants. And the instant thought when John Harbaugh moves from Baltimore after all those years to New York is,
He's going to win. He's a winner.
Giants going to win. John Harbaugh, all he did win. And I want to play a speech for you that he gave. I believe this is to the rookies, if I'm not mistaken. Don't the rookies report first?
Maybe.
I don't think it's the whole team.
Might not have been the whole team, but I don't know if there was more than just what appeared to be rookies in there.
The auditorium isn't like as big as the whole team can fit, but it's an auditorium nonetheless. And I want you to take a listen to John Harbaugh's welcome speech kicking off camp festivities for the Giants.
Welcome, man. Good to see everybody here. You excited?
Yes, sir. Yeah, very.
A little nervous?
Nope.
Huh? A little nervous? A little nervous, man. You nervous? Excited nervous, you know? Nervous like you're full of game almost, man. It's like, get this thing kick off. I'm standing up here in front of the New York Giants. The New York Giants. This is a New York Giants sitting in this room. The New York Giants.
Who's there? Who's
Wow.
the Giants?
It's an honor. It's an honor to stand in front of this room right now. And I know those coaches back there feel the same way, right, coaches?
Sir,
It's an honor, man. We've been working, haven't we? We've been working early and we were late getting ready for today. Today. Sitting in this chair, this seat, getting to work, getting started, our beginning. Because this is where it all begins, together.
Did you know it begins at the beginning? Are you aware of the beginning at the beginning?
You may think the chair, the seat,
right here,
man, woman, tiger, camera,
telephone.
What a weird speech.
It felt like he forgot what the words were in the speech
didn't know what he
was
wanted
trying
to
to give.
say is what I would say there.
He's just looking around the room and identifying. I see, we're the Giants sitting in chairs in our meeting.
With Giants.
At the beginning.
We're New York Giants.
Are you aware of that?
Coaches, are you ready? Yeah.
Yeah, ready to go.
Because we're here.
All I could think about was our guy in Arizona. You got that fire in your gut? You got that fire in your gut? You got the gut fire? Huh? You ready to go?
Look.
Not very inspiring opening from John.
No, that's one of the worst speeches I think ever been put on the internet from a football coach of an NFL team. It did remind me of Jonathan Gannon and the "You get that fire in your gut. Did you take the bus into work today?
You take the bus, get the fire?
No, I drove a Lambo, you moron. I make a lot of money.
$12 million a year, man. I'm doing all right.
It did remind me of that. But in all seriousness, I've been wondering because I saw this and I'm like, okay. So I want to know what you think here because John Harbaugh was in Baltimore for a long time. That wasn't a 5-year run.
He was the head coach from 2008 till 2025. That's a long time.
08 to 25. So you're talking what?
My freshman year in college.
17 seasons.
Until I'm 37 years old. That's how long he was there.
Okay. I want to ask you guys, is he more likely this coach or that coach for this team? Because I think a lot of people are putting the eggs. Giants fans, I understand. Like,
you're all in. You got John Harbaugh.
I totally get it, right?
Right.
The non-Giant fans, football fans out there, are you going to say that John Harbaugh is going to be to the Giants what Jimmy Johnson was for the Dolphins? Or do you think he's more in line, maybe sans all the Super Bowls, Andy Reid to the Chiefs?
Right, the second start, the second stop.
Because when you look at the Dolphins, right, Dolphins had Don Shula for years.
Yes, they did.
These are Shula's last 4 seasons in Miami before he retired.
Crazy how long he goes.
11-5, 9-7, 10-6, 9-7.
Okay.
Jimmy Johnson comes in. Everybody goes, "Oh, it's Jimmy Johnson."
Jimmy Johnson, baby.
He won championship Miami.
Yep.
He won multiple Super Bowls with the Cowboys. Here we go. We're back to the top of the league. 8-8, 9-7, 10-6, 9-7.
Yep.
See you later.
Exactly the same as you got at the end with Shula.
Andy Reid, obviously the Mahomes thing makes it different, but even before Mahomes, Andy Reid came in and Alex Smith became the quarterback.
They were a playoff team.
They were 10-6, 7-9, 2-14.
Ooh.
Andy Reid comes in 11-5, 9-7, 11-5, 12-4, 10-6. Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and then you're off and
so
running.
even before Mahomes,
they were still good and going to the playoffs.
He had absolutely turned that franchise around into something you could say consistently was pretty damn good.
Did they win a playoff game before Mahomes got there with Reid?
Because
I remember the Mariota game. Remember he threw the touchdown pass to himself? They lost that game. They had the game in. Didn't they blow a massive lead in Indy in one of those?
I believe
with Alex Smith.
The Mariota game was the 2017 playoff game, the wild card.
Did they end up winning that game? The one where he threw the touchdown pass to himself on the deflection?
No, the Titans won that game.
Yeah, so I thought. Yeah. So I didn't know if the Chiefs won one before.
That was
Mahomes.
the last year of Alex Smith starting as quarterback.
Yeah.
Before that, it was Peters and Smith. Who the hell is Peters?
I don't remember Peters. Who was Peters?
Because the Football Reference just labels the quarterback by last name, Peters.
Peters,
with the Chiefs.
Peters is not helping me.
My point is to simply point out, like, he had got that turned around, and then obviously you get the right guy. Maybe Dart's that guy. But where are you guys at on the idea of, well, John Harbaugh's here, it's going to get better, versus it's not. This doesn't always just automatically pass over from, hey, he was pretty good there for 17 seasons. That means fill in the blank.
Right. The biggest question I have, because that was hilarious to see yesterday. I was laughing my ass off watching it. John Harbaugh is known as a good rah-rah guy. Like, that's one of his, like, he's not really known as an X's and O's kind of coach. He's a good locker room culture guy, and it ran its course at the end in Baltimore, but I'm also not going to pretend that he didn't have a great locker room and a great team for a long time there. What saved the end of his Baltimore run and gave him another 6 or 7 years?
Lamar.
Okay, having a quarterback.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, how do you feel about Jackson Dart? Because that, I think, will define what John Harbaugh's legacy is in New York. If Jackson Dart turns into a good, like a borderline top 10-ish quarterback and takes a step and looks competent and looks like a franchise quarterback that they can build around, I think they're going to have success. I don't look at that division. Yeah, I know I'm in on the Cowboys this year, but we don't know what their long-term future looks like. Dak's getting a little bit older. We don't know what Jaden Daniels is going to be this year and how the commies are going to look. And Philly's in a bit of flux as well. Do they even have a franchise quarterback? They'll find out, maybe answer that question after this upcoming season. And so there's a runway here for them, but I think John Harbaugh's tenure will be tied to, is Jackson Dart good? I don't think he's going to be given long enough to say, all right, 2 more years of Dart, he's terrible, doesn't work out. Now we got a top 5 pick, let's draft another guy, let's build it. Like, he's 62 years old. I don't think you're going to give him 4 to 5 years to build this thing. So I think it comes down to one thing and one thing only. Do they have a franchise quarterback there? Because in Baltimore, when things kind of ran their course with Flacco, and they got into this little, they were good in a playoff team and above 500 essentially every year. And then you had this stretch 5-11, 8-8, 9-7. Okay, it starts to slip a little bit. In comes Lamar Jackson in 2018, and it was playoffs, no playoffs, until 8-9 last year. And so if he's got a franchise quarterback, he's shown that he can get you to the playoffs consistently. That's the question that I have. Is Dart that guy? If he is, Harbaugh will be just fine regardless of this clunky speech.
By the way, the Peters I speak of, Marcus Peters, it was the approximate value category, not passer. Smith was the quarterback all 4 first seasons for Andy Reid.
Got it.
And I know it was the tail end, but Jimmy Johnson had Dan Marino when he got there.
He did. Was that the last 4 years of his career, basically, when he was retiring?
Yeah. I think 20...
and he was still good, but
1999 was Johnson's last year. That was also Marino's last year.
Yeah, he was at the very end there, but still a well-known, obviously, and good quarterback. Yeah, and I was curious, so on the Chiefs front, I don't believe that they won a playoff game until...
It says divisional round, but I don't know if they were just hosting.
They were 12-4. They won the AFC West. I think that year they won their division and then lost to the Steelers. So they were, that was again the concern with Reid, because he was known in Philly of a guy who couldn't win big games, and he'd lose NFC title games and get to the Super Bowl and lose. He gets to Kansas City, and for the first 5-6 years he couldn't win a playoff game. In steps Patrick Mahomes, and all of a sudden he's one of the top 5 coaches of all time.
We certainly have had our experiences where it goes the other way. I think of Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
Right? But you also have other ones where you hear the speech that's sent out and you go, oof.
Yeah, the press conference or the speech, if you lose it, it's not a great thing, because it's not...
Well, he was fine in the press conference.
He was fine in the press conference.
But this is like the hello, camp's about to start speech.
Right.
It's like seat, chair.
Identifying things in the
Giants.
room. Microphone. Celsius.
The New York Giants.
TV. Timbers flag.
You guys excited? We're excited.
Jason Swigard.
There's excitement everywhere. I'm like, come on, dude. You're John Harbaugh.
Catch the fever. You got to be better than that.
Jimmy
Harbaugh?
Johnson or Andy Reid? Which one is he more likely?
Ooh.
Jimmy Johnson in Miami or Andy Reid starting Kansas City back up into a winner?
I'm not going to do the Super Bowl thing, but I'll say...
Yeah, Sans the Super Bowl.
I'll say Andy Reid. I'll say Andy, because I'm a believer in Jackson Dart, so I'll say Andy Reid.
Okay.
I think he'll be successful there.
I think there's a real chance he's Jimmy Johnson in Miami. Because the last couple years there...
Baltimore's not been great the last 2 years.
And you can blame Lamar. You could certainly do that. You could do the Lamar, it's his fault thing. But
he hasn't been healthy. That hurts, certainly.
Go ask Ravens Reddit how they feel about John Harbaugh. And
they're thrilled.
How do we blow every lead? Is that just because of Lamar? No.
There's also the other side of it of careful what you win. Maybe your next coach is great. Maybe it's not.
And no doubt.
Seattle had this with Pete Carroll. When they fired him, it was like, oh, my God, Pete Carroll? He won a Super Bowl. How do we get rid of him? And then 2 years later, you win a Super Bowl, and you're like, who cares about Pete Carroll?
Cafe Day Dirt and Sprague coming up at the top of the 7 a.m. hour. We're back with more on 105.1 The Fan.
AM.
Well, football season's around the corner, and football coverage on the Fan is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one prize, 5 years guaranteed. Xfinity, imagine that. Poll question is up, by the way. Who will win more games in their first year with their new teams, Lane Kiffin or John Harbaugh?
Ooh.
The over-under number, according to Lance Taylor, who we talked to yesterday of Next Round Live, 8.
Yeah, 8 for LSU.
LSU is projected to win 8.
I would Harbaugh.
You think Harbaugh is going to win more games than Lane Kiffin?
You're guaranteed to have 17 of them things, so you got more guaranteed.
Got more shots at
The
it.
most LSU could play, if I'm not wrong, would be 16, right? If you go all the way, conference title game plus playoff.
13
the Vegas
plus
only works
4,
for the regular
17.
season.
Oh yeah, touche.
Vegas odds are
but
only
if you're
regular
just, I know, but
season.
you're asking who's going to win more games in year one, not the
Well,
over/under. So if you're
yeah.
for the poll question, he's just guaranteed more games. So you need Kiffin to go on it. He would have to go 10-2
in the regular season. Who will win more games? For
Oh,
their
I'll
teams?
take them. I'll take Harbaugh. I'll take Harbaugh. in
The
regular
Giants right now on DraftKings, their over/under number is 7.5.
Oh, they're right next to each
season.
other.
Right next to each other. Yeah, I'll say the Giants go 10-7, and LSU goes.
You love the Giants, then.
I am kind of in on the
That's a
Giants this
great
year.
leap.
I just like
10-7
Jackson Dart. I think Dart's going to be, as long as he can not be an idiot and go out of bounds and slide.
You don't like him running into guys like he's Cam Scatterbo?
Not a huge fan of running into guys when you're a starting quarterback in a franchise court. I mean, I was in on the Giants kind of last year too, and that looked stupid.
I was in on the Raiders,
yeah,
and that was
take it for
literally the
granted.
worst pick you could have had.
And I think LSU will be fine, but I don't see LSU being this juggernaut this year as a easy bake oven team. You put it all together. Levitt hasn't been able to stay healthy. I'll go 9-3 for LSU, 10-7 for the Giants. Slight edge Harbaugh.
Well, you can vote at Dirt and Sprague. We'll get some Lane Kiffin audio. He just spoke at the podium at SEC Media Day, so we'll wait to see him cut it up, and we'll get to some college football stuff later. Get some other college football guys from yesterday. John Summerall, none too happy if your phone goes off in the middle of his
no, he's not.
opening speech. I'll let you know about that. We'll get to that coming up in Cafe Day, Dirt and Sprague. I want to ask you guys a local-ish question. What did you make of the Kevin Calabro reaction from the fan base? Because we had a lot of unfortunate layoffs or contract disputes.
Yes, the old shake-up in broadcasting.
And Kevin Calabro had a sick burn on his way out that the offer from the Blazers was subprime.
That was a great use.
It was well played.
It's
well
very
played
well
by
I enjoyed
Calabro.
that.
That deserves a round of
that's
applause.
top
That's
tier.
why
That's
he's
top
a
tier.
professional
He didn't-
broadcaster.
Didn't call him a cheap bastard. I mean,
No.
subprime is the perfect description of it.
It is absolutely top-notch stuff.
Yes.
Now, I heard a lot yesterday, read a lot, combination of the two. What I would say is this. Dirt and I were doing a show when Mike and Mike, not like live on the air, but when they fired Mike and Mike, Dirt and I were doing a show.
That was such a big story. Out of left field.
And
in the middle of the offseason, like out of nowhere.
I don't mean this as a shot, but the reaction I thought was a little interesting yesterday. And look, I'm friends with some of these people. I'm friendly with most of these people. Like I thought what happened yesterday is awful, and I don't like it. I'm none too pleased about it.
Although I was relieved to see, I think they said in their statement to Freeman that they're going to continue radio broadcasts. They're not doing a simulcast for now.
I got some information on that yesterday that is, it's not what it sounds like. But that being said, the Calabro Mike and Mike thing, it's not even in the same realm of galaxy.
No.
Comping the day, talking about Mike and Mike being fired, pairing it with we're hiring the former Sonics guy.
Yeah.
Because, was he national? Yes. Was he doing ESPN radio
He's one of the best broadcasters in the modern era.
Absolutely. I
He's
would
awesome.
not dispute that. But hiring the Seattle Sonics guy after firing Mike and Mike, it's not even in the same galaxy of conversation. It's not quality of broadcaster. It's emotional connection.
Those were our guys.
And somebody had tweeted out yesterday, what's your favorite Calabro thing that you'll miss him saying? And a lot of people were given one-off lines. And mine is just always going to be, welcome into Portland, Oregon, USA, as if I didn't know the Blazers were at home
Exactly.
playing the Dallas Mavericks. And so what did you guys make of the Kevin Calabro reaction? Because I was a little, I guess, blindsided by some of the reaction to people being shocked. I thought the most obvious thing was that he wasn't coming back.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
if you weren't paying it. the writing was on the wall. Like,
people reacted like that was breaking news of something that was never going to happen.
That was the most easy thing to identify. This. When Dundon took over the team, I would have told you immediately, guess who's not going to be the play-by-play guy next year?
Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to be it regardless of Dundon.
Whether the team sold
I thought
or not,
he might have been done anyway.
Yes.
Like, he's been – I felt like he's had 1 foot.
Well, he took games off last year,
Yeah.
and I was told that he wanted to do, like, a split season thing.
Yeah,
to which,
that's
just
tough.
as a fan, like,
how much are you
it.
making? You want the consistent broadcaster. You don't want to have to find a replace. Benetti being the replacement was awesome. Those were actually some of the highlights of the year for me because I'm a big Jason Benetti guy.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting conversation because on the one hand, he is one of the best basketball play-by-play guys that exists. Like, he's awesome. He's been the national voice for ESPN. He was obviously the voice of the Sonics for a long time. He was great calling games in Portland.
Yeah.
Nobody questions his skill level and ability to be a play-by-play guy. But we're also a very unique market, and we love our own. And he never felt like our own. So while he came in as kind of a hired gun, this big name, like, oh my God, we got Kevin Calabro.
He's a Vulcan choice.
He was Seattle's guy. He's always going to be Seattle's guy. And there was, especially coming from the Mike and Mike era, where Barrett is so rooted in the state of Oregon, had been here forever, worked around,
he was
an
a
Oregon
Beaver.
State
He
fan,
worked at Oregon.
He rose up the rank. Like, he was our guy. And he was a local guy, and we always embraced him for that. And Calabro, for as good as he was, just never was quite that. It was never quite the same level. And so I was not surprised in the least that he moved on. If they gave him a lowball offer, by all means, do go get another NBA gig or wait for the Sonics gig to open or do college and national stuff. He said he's going to keep all of his options open for now.
Can't you see him joining Prime or Netflix or one of those?
Yeah, doing a one-off game a week if he's cool with traveling, sure. But it pales in comparison to the reaction and to the emotions I think the fan base felt. I think yesterday was just another layer on the Tom Dundon, oh my God, why are we firing everybody?
It was a crap sandwich, and then you
just
added something to it.
It's a new slice of crap bread on top of your crap sandwich.
Yes.
But the reaction will never be the same as I mean, even going back, I don't remember it vividly because I was so young, but the Sean stuff and the way that went down and him being this legendary voice and them kind of telling him to go pound sand, Wheels comes in.
Which, by the way, who made that decision?
Tom Dundon, right?
No.
I
I think some of this stuff is what happened with the media stuff. It's terrible. It's awful. But like, we also did this twice.
We have a pretty long history with this as an organization.
And you can say,
history.
the Vulcans spent. Collab wasn't cheap. Like, but that doesn't matter to me.
Right.
I don't know. Does anybody care how much money I make a year?
No.
Does anybody ask how much you make a year?
No, I don't think so.
So like, why do we care what if they make the top dollar or not the top? We don't.
No.
So like, they offered him a deal. He obviously thought that was very disrespectful. He took his little shot at the end, and I'm sure he's going to land on his feet because his entire career he basically has.
I think
they fired Mike and Mike, and they replaced Sean's.
Yes.
So like,
and Wheels too. Now Wheels is going through hell stuff, and he wanted to keep doing it.
He did. I know that for a fact because I literally talked to him on the phone. He's like, I still wanted to do it. I still think I'm really good at it.
Right.
They felt differently. So I thought some of the reaction, I think it's paired with the Dundon decision-making that's happened, which is not good.
Right. It's another layer.
But the reaction was as if, like, we've never been betrayed by losing broadcasters that are good or that we love. And it's like, dude, we've done this a couple times with the Vulcans.
I don't know what the future holds. Nobody does. We had the conversation yesterday, like, what is the opinion of Tom Dundon as Blazers owner in 3 years, right? Is the team still here? Where are we at? What do we look back on all this and laugh because we're winning and we're successful? Do we look back on it as, oh my God, look at all these red flags and he's cheap and he's not spending into the luxury tax? We should have seen it coming. Like, nobody knows what the future holds. What I can point to is what happened in Carolina. He did this with their play-by-play guy for the Hurricanes was the original voice of the Hartford Whalers on radio. He had been doing it since the 1970s. He came in and what did he give them? A subprime offer, and who quit and walked away and didn't accept it? Their longtime radio guy. TV guy was John Forsland, one of the best in the NHL. He is now the national voice for TNT and the voice of the Kraken. So he found another gig. It was very controversial when both those guys left. You know what he's done since after hiring cheap initially? He's had, I believe, the same broadcasters now for the majority of his tenure.
Yeah, but
they've
some of that's job preservation by guys taking
no doubt
deals
about
they
it.
probably shouldn't.
No doubt about it. But the point is that he's not firing the radio guy every year to go find a college intern that will do the job for $19,000. They've been allowed to grow. They've created a relationship with the fan base, and so that's the only thing that I have to go off of is we've seen this happen before. And if this becomes a yearly thing where it's like, dude, you're ripping the broadcast team out because they were good and they were going to make too much money, by all means, I'll have an issue with it. But I'm going to wait to judge it until I see what the crew looks like and how we're going to consume them next year.
The point that people made that is right is that, like, some of this stuff just, are you really saving money?
No, you're going to have to go hire somebody to call games.
I mean, yeah, you're still.
I mean, it'll be cheaper than Kevin Calabro because I'd imagine he was one of the more expensive play-by-play guys in the NBA.
I don't know who they're going to hire. Maybe they hire a name we're familiar with, so I'll wait to see. But there's also a chance they hire somebody significantly worse than Kevin Calabro.
Very well could. We don't know.
But, yeah, so interesting stuff yesterday. Hour number 2, Cafe, Day Dirt and Sprague. What's on the menu? We'll get to it next. Hour 2 on The Fan.
From the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, it was the first time the Timbers had been on home turf in over a month. Took them a while to get going against FC Dallas, but Christian Velda coming in as a sub in the 55th minute, jump-started the attack, and he assisted Felipe Mora on the game-tying goal in stoppage time. 2-2 draw with FC Dallas, Portland hosting Real Salt Lake Saturday night. The Portland Fire have reached the All-Star break. They were hoping to hit so with a win. Fourth quarter rally against the Dallas Wings came up short, 101-97. The Wings glad to have Paige Beckers back in the lineup. Concern for Portland, Sarah Ashley Barker left the game in the first half with a lower leg injury. They will have the All-Star break to evaluate it. PGA Tour just outside Minneapolis for the 3M Open. Scotty Scheffler in the field this week. He's 1 under through 5. Everybody chasing Vince Whaley, 5 under, making the turn. He's got a 2-shot lead. I'm Jason Swigart from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the
Hey, welcome back in. Hour number 2. I think we could have done without the golf update there.
Come on, man. You don't have 3M Open fever?
Let me check my temperature real quick.
Check
Thermometer in.
Check your temp.
No one cares!
Literally will not have over 500,000 viewers in that tournament.
I think it'll be a little bit higher than that. But there is one funny note out of the 3M is it Sanjay Im. I love me some Sanjay Im. He's wearing a sweatshirt today that says Sanjay Him.
Well played.
It's a Malbon sweatshirt. He's a Malbon guy. And they made him a sweatshirt that says Sanjay Him.
I'm pro Malbon.
It is hilarious if you go look at this. He's just teeing off and you're like, yeah, it says Sanjay Him. Okay.
An hour from now, we will go to Kansas City and talk with our good friend Jay Binkley. Kansas City has long been rumored as the city everybody hoists up as the, hey, your team, they're relocating the NBA. You know where they're going to go? Kansas City.
They got an arena.
They have an arena. They had a team in the early 80s. And so we'll talk with Jay Binkley just to see, like, what's the temperature for the Blazers relocating. There's also something funny I want to read that I thought was 100% spot on. I already felt that way, but somebody digging in a little bit, I mentioned in the 6 a.m. hour that I sniffed around a couple other cities, and there doesn't seem to be a big appetite, is what I would say right now, for the Portland Trail Blazers. So Dundon has leverage, but it's not like...
Maybe the city council should drive a harder bargain.
Well,
you got nowhere to go, Tommy Two Nickels.
I think we should just pass
you
it.
You poor bastard.
Let's bring Tommy in. Let's negotiate. Let's say, how can you make this economy better? Because it kind of sucks, and I think we should move on with our lives by also not acknowledging and acting like he's going to take the team somewhere. Let's get to Cafe Day Dirt and Sprague. We've waited long enough.
What do we got today? I'm hungry.
Great. I hope you like coffee with some pastries. We have apple fritters and maple bars today.
I'm out. Pastries for breakfast? That gonna fill me up? I mean, I gotta eat. I like 15 of them? Pastries. Get out of here.
Have you had an apple fritter?
I have. I'm not a pastry guy in any way, shape, or form. I'm anti-pastry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not an apple fritter guy. I'll take the maple bars.
You don't like apple fritters?
No.
No.
Crispy edges, little cinnamon, apple.
Nah, I'm out. I'm
Glaze?
out. You can shove some meat in there, I'd eat it.
Dude, apple fritter is the best. I'll say this: your pastry stance to me,
yeah,
is on the same exact tier as Swag refusing to eat a strawberry.
I don't refuse to eat them. I'll take a bite of one if you give it to me.
I know, but how are you not?
I just don't like them. I'm not a fan.
I'm a person that if you put the pastry in front of me, I have to walk away or I'll eat half the box.
Yeah, and I'm not a donut guy. I'm not a pastry guy. It's just never been my cup of tea. I need something more hearty for my breakfast. That's not going to fill me up.
Have you always been this way?
Always been that way.
Like your mom or dad would get donuts on a Saturday randomly, and you'd be like, meh.
Dude, my wife brings pastry home constantly. She went to the grocery store and bought like 3 boxes of them. I'm like, who's going to eat all these? You know I'm not taking a bite of this.
Oh, we can't do those in our house.
Just sitting on the counter.
It's not good.
Yeah, so we didn't finish the pastries.
We got one of those raspberry lemon loafs, which is just like, that's as dangerous as it gets for me. Those 2 flavors I love.
Shove that thing
with a nice glaze on top, and I've kept it on the counter, and legitimately I opened it and just sniffed real hard and walked away. It's like if I start, I won't stop. It's a problem.
You were Ben Stiller in Dodgeball.
Yeah, a little bit, man. I'm a guy who quit smoking, but he still goes out back just so he can get the second-hand
Puts
smoke.
one in your lips, or you get one of those candy ones or something. I'll just stick with the coffee for now. I'm all right.
Let's start in Major League Baseball.
And 2 down in the 9th for the Red Sox. Here comes Duran. And a little flare on the infield. That'll be caught by Holiday. That's the ball game. The Red Sox lose for the first time since the 1st of July. The 15-game winning streak has come to an end here tonight. Baltimore wins this one 5-1.
There's Red Sox TV. A doubleheader is what ruins the Red Sox winning streak at 15 games. Do you know how bad Boston was? They've won 15 straight games. They are 3 games over 500 and still 7 back in their division.
Even after winning 15 in a row.
Do you know how bad you had to have been for that to not make that big of a difference?
Oh, I'm well aware. They were right there with my team. They were 2 of the more disappointing teams in baseball, and all of a sudden they won 15 in a row.
That's crazy to
me. See you later. Now, they still got a great – then maybe a wild card is their spot. They're still a decent ways back, as you point out, in the division. 15 in a row. Franchise record, right? 15 in a row?
I believe, yes.
I think that's the longest one in Red Sox history. They've been playing baseball for a long time in Boston.
Yeah.
Order up. The question is, will they be able to break down this team? Here's Velda. Velda gets behind the defense. Velda into the box, plays it across. Mora scores! Felipe Mora in the 92nd minute scores his first goal since the season opener, and we're level at Providence Park.
There is Fletcher Johnson Timbers here on home of the Timbers. Isaac and Tuke were out at the Kingston yesterday. Their first home match since the World Cup, and they were hosting FC Dallas. Ended in a 2-2 draw. Kind of an exciting end. Dallas got a goal in the 87th minute. You went, oh, crap.
Ah, damn it. That one hurts.
And then in stoppage time, with 9 minutes of stoppage time, the 91st minute, Felipe Mora with a sick little crossover pass ended up getting a pretty easy goal, and they ended up tied 2-2.
Hey, man, when you're down late after giving up a goal in something in the 80th minute and then you find a way to get a draw out of it, that's not a bad outcome for you. Dallas has been better than them this year as well, in the tables, if you will. So a nice draw in that regard. And we also had a P1 earlier because you mentioned kind of a late-arriving crowd last night.
Yeah.
They said there was a ton of power outages around Providence Park last night.
Over 3,000 people had power outages.
And it caused all sorts of traffic issues because lights were out, and so everybody's at a 4-way stop everywhere you go. And so I'm not sure if that was the reason that folks showed up late. Also a late night on a Wednesday, 7:30 start time for them. But a draw, nice to have them back in Portland. First home game in a long time.
Order up.
Look, I've always had the mindset, regardless of whether I was at Troy, Tulane, or now Florida, we'll play anybody, anywhere, anytime. I don't care.
I knew it. I knew it.
The people that want to whine and complain about a 9-game schedule, is it harder? Yeah, it's harder. It's what was decided well before I walked into SEC meetings as head coach. And so we got to go do it. Let's go do it. Whining and complaining about it doesn't help you. Going to work does. And so, yeah, it's going to be challenging. It's not going to be easy. But, golly, man, nothing in life that's worth anything is easy.
There's John Summerall, SEC Media Days, on an interview, asked about 8 or 9 conference games. Stop whining, shut up, and play. By the way, you see Nick Saban came out in the headlines. His stance is 12 games against power opponents.
Yeah, power only entire schedule. I don't know if I need to go that far, although I would not disagree with it. I think the group of 5 deserves a seat at the table, and you should play 1 or 2 of those games every year. Now, Florida plays Campbell this year, the Campbell Camels. I don't need that game. I don't need Oregon to play Portland State.
They're called the Campbell Camels?
I believe they're the Campbell Camels. That is week 2. They play FAU and then the Campbell Camels.
Yeah,
that's what they
them.
get. And then obviously Florida State and their in-state rivalry at the end of the year. I don't need all 12. I'd like 10 of the 12 at least, and then maybe 2 G5 teams in there just to give them the pathway and the payday that they desperately deserve. Look, this is a great quote to have at SEC Media Day for John Summerall. I get it. Don't complain. I'm blessed to be here. Florida football, SEC football. Wait until you go on a 4-game losing streak in the SEC and people want to run you out of town because you went 5-7 in year 1, and then maybe you'll be begrudging the 9-game conference schedule next year. Because mark my words, if that happens, he will complain next year.
Yeah, John Summerall is somebody that I'm all in on.
I like John Summerall. I like him.
I also refuse to believe that Florida's going to keep whiffing on the coach.
At some point, you got to hit, right?
As we noted yesterday, they've only won 110 games since Urban Meyer left.
We did that a little bit with Texas after the Mac Brown thing. Like, at some point, Texas got to figure it out again, right?
And they got close a couple times.
They did. Herman had a nice year.
Yep.
Charlie Strong had a nice moment,
Yep.
but none of them were obviously long-lasting. And, we'll see how Sark does this year, but it does seem that they're heading in the right direction.
Who was on the broadcast call when Notre Dame played Texas and Swoops' nephew scored the touchdown? You remember that? It was a primetime early season non-conference game. It went to overtime, and he was a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, Sam Ellinger, is that what we're talking about?
No. Cheryl Swoops is like nephew.
Oh.
And he dove into the end zone, scored, and the guy was like, "Texas is back."
Oh, was it Tessitore?
Was it Tessitore?
I don't know.
I'm asking you guys.
I don't remember.
You remember this game? I think it was like 4, 5, 6 years ago.
I remember the Ellinger Bowl game when they won the Sugar Bowl, and I think it was Tom Herman that was the coach then, and he gave the Texas is back, hook 'em horns, and then returned for another year, and I think they all got fired the next season after that. That one I remember. I don't remember the broadcaster saying Texas is back.
Tyrone Swoops.
Okay.
The nephew of Cheryl Swoops. He was momentarily their quarterback, and I think it was Charlie Strong.
Yeah, and had a nice running touchdown.
He dove in for a game-winning touchdown.
Back, baby!
They proclaimed, Texas is back.
Well, wait till Florida beats like Ole Miss in week 4, and that'll be the claim on Florida. Then they got to play Texas, Georgia, Oklahoma. Yeah, 3 consecutive weeks.
Are we going to get Florida is back?
The Gators are back.
I don't think so.
I show them our trophy case, and it's empty. And I think they're all very aware of that. And so, I think, listen, we live in a lot of worlds, and so we're obviously happy with the things that we accomplished. We're happy with the direction of our program, but it's also not lost on us that we haven't won the hardware that we're searching for. And so, that gets us into a mindset of growth and getting back to work to go finish this thing a little bit better than we did last year. And put ourselves in a better position maybe to compete for some trophies.
That's Mike Elko, the head coach of Texas A&M at SEC Media Day yesterday, was asked, Coach, how do you keep your team motivated? I love the beginning of that answer, by the way. If you missed it, it was show them the trophy case and it's empty.
It's such a good answer.
It's not very hard.
It is such a good answer.
It's a fantastic answer.
I love me some Mike Elko. Marcel Reed's a really interesting guy to follow this year because he kind of burst onto the scene over the last year and a half and has played really well. I think he has times struggling to throw the ball against better defenses. He has times where the passing game was maybe a C-, but they were good enough elsewhere, and the rest of the team was solid enough to kind of carry him through it. They had a very manageable conference schedule last year. There was no Georgia on their schedule. There was no Alabama on their schedule. And so a lot of things kind of broke their way, and now going into this year in the SEC, they're obviously one of the favorites. But you look at their last month of the season, their last 5 games, they go to Alabama, to South Carolina, who, by the way, was up, 31-3 on them at halftime last year at home, if I remember, and they came back and won that game.
I don't know how to you're not wrong to point that out, and it was an all-time comeback. There's so much media fan noise about Beamer and, is he first coach fired stuff.
He might not even be there at the end of the year.
Can he overcome the noise? Not that his team listens to it much,
sure.
but, it also, I don't know. There's like an aura around that program where it feels like he's destined to underwhelm and be fired.
I don't disagree with you at all there. I'm just saying I think it's still a tough place to play no matter who. Bama almost lost there last year, and then you close Tennessee at Oklahoma, home against Texas. I mean, those last 5 games are brutal, and that's not counting a road trip to LSU early in the year. And don't forget, week 2, kind of a fun non-conference game. You get Arizona State at Texas A&M. I don't know what ASU's going to be this year, but that's at least a formidable opponent with a good, respected head coach. So I don't know what to make of A&M. I love me some Mike Elko. I think he was a great hire. I don't know if I trust Marcel Reed throwing the ball consistently enough to get them back to where they were last year with an 11-1 season.
I think a little bit like Darnold winning the Super Bowl or Geno coming back and having some kind of a career as an NFL quarterback, like in this reclamation era. We'll see what Kyler Murray is. Isn't there an element for – because I'm with you. Like, I didn't have a ton of great evidence.
Their offense was atrocious in that playoff game, too, against Miami.
Well, both of their offenses were atrocious.
Terrible,
Those were 2 really good defenses. Yeah. But, like, he also had NFL targets.
Yeah.
Casey Concepcion's probably starting for the Cleveland Browns this year.
Yeah.
So I guess what I would say is, yeah, I didn't love it, but the idea of growth and improvement.
Yeah, you got to leave the room open,
what did we
no
think
doubt.
of Jalen Hurts at Alabama? He can't throw.
Right.
Then he goes to Oklahoma and lights it up. Yep. So I kind of wonder how much Elko is going to get out of Marcel Reed year 2 as a starting quarterback.
It's a big question in the SEC this year because they were 11-1. They were a playoff team last year. Let's also remember in that playoff game, they had the ball inside the 10-yard line to score to tie the game against Miami.
It was a 4-down turnover,
He threw a pick in the end zone to end the game. They score there, you go to overtime, maybe they win that game, and who knows what the conversation is about A&M and Miami right now. That's how thin the margin was. I think the schedule's more challenging this year, and that's the thing you're going to get in these bloated conferences. You're going to have years where it benefits you, have years where it hurts you. Now, we did this with Indiana last year because 2 years ago their schedule was easy, and they go 11-1. Last year it was tougher, and they went undefeated. So they took the next step. We'll see if A&M can do that.
A&M, are they a Tennessee from 2 years ago? Made the playoff, great story. Oh, look at this. They got the quarterback. Okay, their quarterback's gone because he wants money.
Right.
Marcel Reed is back.
He is back, so they don't have that.
Is A&M Tennessee, or do they have staying power for you?
I think they have staying power. I just don't know about this year. I think Elko is building. Remember, that was only, I believe, his second year at A&M, so he's early in his tenure of getting his guys in there and recruiting all that. Mm-hmm. Marcel Reed, I believe, was a previous Jimbo Fisher guy. I think he was already on campus, if I'm not wrong. I'm going to say no playoff for A&M this year. I think they go 9-3 and just miss it. I think the schedule's challenging. They lose a couple down the stretch, and then maybe LSU or somebody random gets them.
Which of these 4 would you pick to make the playoff from the SEC? Texas, Texas A&M, Tennessee, or Oklahoma?
Oklahoma. So not confident.
Sark, no.
Venables, the Sark one, I'm worried about their non-conference game again. It's the same thing as last year. If they beat Ohio State in week 2, they're a lock to make the college football playoff. A lock. Mark it down, write it in Sharpie. They will not miss the college football playoff.
They lost to Florida. Are they a lock?
The whole point is that you can beat Ohio State and lose those other 2 games and you're in. If you lose to Ohio State, all of it is up in the air because they did that literally last year and they ended up going 9-3 and they didn't get in.
But I think when you're a program that can lose a game like that, because that talent difference, that coaching difference, it was a huge advantage Texas' way.
Oh, of course it was.
I think if you can lose that, you can find a way to trip up in other ways.
My point being they can get away with tripping up if they beat Ohio State.
And
if
they
lose Ohio State,
they could lose 3 games even beating Ohio State.
Yeah, that I don't see. I don't think they're going to lose 3 conference games. That would be
I don't
tough.
think we know half of the teams in that conference and how good they're going to be.
Oh, it's all crapshoot. It's all roll the dice, obviously. But yeah, I wouldn't pick them to lose 3 conference games this year.
But you picking Oklahoma, that group?
Of those 4 teams, yeah. Tennessee would be a fun story to get back into the playoff. A&M, I just worry about the back end of the schedule there for them. And I think Oklahoma has an opportunity for a marquee non-conference win on the road at Michigan early in the year, and I don't know what to make of Underwood in that Michigan offense. And if you win that game, they'll be in the top 10 and off and running.
Last one here, Cafe Day, Dirt and Sprague.
Order up! I came in 2005, so I would have never thought Sonics would never be in Seattle. Here's the deal, two sides, right? 2 sides. One, Moda Center is the oldest, crustiest arena in the league. 2, it needs to move. The nostalgic part of it is awesome. And we'll always be there. We'll always be, the 77 Rip City Blazers. We'll always be the Brandon Roy years, the Damian Lillard years. But people don't understand how business works in the NBA anymore. You cannot have a standalone arena. It needs to be part of a tiny little city so that the owners and ownership can make money. There's nothing like that in Portland. So you go to the game, you stop and you leave, whether that's a concert, whether that's a rodeo, whether it's basketball, whatever that is, that's not good for business. So you ask a billionaire to spend 3-point-something billion on something, and then you tell him, well, you gotta make that money back on basketball games? Brother, he's gonna be in business till he's 100 years old. His partners aren't rolling with that. Now, on the fan side, they just want to be acknowledged and make sure that they're respected and the history is respected, because there's only 3 teams here: the Thorns, the Timbers, and the Blazers. So he's having to piss off the fans so that he and his partners can make their money back and do good business. We need a new arena. We need a new area. We need something to be excited about. So that's where I'm at. And he could do what he wants. He paid for it, right? But I can see them moving.
There is Portland metro area native Channing Frye, former Blazer legend, calling our arena the crustiest, oldest piece of crap. We need a district. We need a new arena. Also omitted the fire there in that answer on Yahoo Sports, which is a little disappointing. But he's not wrong in some ways, but very interesting thoughts from Channing Frye on the Moda Center and where it all sits right now, in his opinion.
You know, it is possible to build up the area around the arena and not move everything out of the city. You know, that is possible. There is some real estate development that could take place down around the Rose Quarter.
Do you have faith it's going to do that?
I don't know, but if the Albina district takes over it, and that sounds like it might happen with Phil Knight's money, then yeah, I think that could absolutely happen.
When I lived in Oregon City, there was this rumor for years by the waterfall area. They were going to demolish the old plant and build up an entire district of apartments and late-night stuff and restaurants. Like, I'd heard that as soon as I moved in Oregon City. And every year that went by, nothing happened. And it's still there. It's still an abandoned plant that looks terrible and rusted, and it's right on the water. It's a beautiful area. I'm kind of so pessimistic sometimes that I'm like, I keep hearing about the renovations to the area, and I'm like, when is it? When is it starting?
Well, the part of it that I don't know if Dundon's going to pay for it. If I were him, I would want to, because then you could recoup the majority of the money, right? Like if you open those and you lease out those businesses to restaurants and bars and all that kind of stuff, you got a good pathway to make a lot of money. But there's murmurs behind the scenes that they might just cede the land to the what is the Albina Trust?
The Albina Vision.
The Albina Vision, that they might that might be a part of the agreement. If we pass the funding for the Moda Center, Albina Vision, you get the area around the arena, you got hundreds of millions of dollars. Here you go spend it.
There we go. Cafe Day, Dirt and Sprague. Looks like we checked out early there, but a lot to get to in the world of sports. Let's carry over the Blazers. A list comes out that has people hot and bothered, and dive into a little Blazer stuff coming up next. Hour 2 rolls on 105.1 The Fan.
Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan, the insertion of Christian Velde in the 55th minute for the Timbers jump-started their attack. Allowed them to come back and rally at Providence Park to earn a 2-all draw against FC Dallas. Velde assisting Felipe Mora in stoppage time for the equalizer. Portland back at it Saturday night hosting Real Salt Lake. Dallas Wings came into Moda Center, got Paige Beckers back in the lineup, and it was just a bit too much for the Fire to deal with. They come up short with their fourth quarter rally, falling 101-97. A bigger concern, Sarah Ashley Barker left the game in the first half with a leg injury. They'll evaluate that during the All-Star break. PGA Tour's back in the States, just outside Minneapolis for the 3M Open. Scotty Scheffler in the field. He's 1 under through 8, 3 shots off the pace being set by Vince Whaley, who's 1 shot clear of Lee Hodges, Emiliano Grillo, and Kevin Roy at 4 under par. Jason Swigart from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the
We're doing arm sleeve debates during the commercial break with the brand man about wearing the Iverson arm sleeve. Can I ask a really dumb question?
Fire away. By the way, people are saying that thing in OC is getting built. I don't know what you're talking about, but the people keep texting and saying it is. They're tearing it down and building it right
They're
now.
Finally doing it?
I guess so. I don't know.
Okay, good to know.
That's what the people are saying.
Hey, we need live reporters out there.
That's what we need. Boots on the ground.
I just know when I lived there, all people talked about was how next year it's going to happen.
Here
next
it
year
comes.
It's going to happen. Next year it's going
to
to happen.
Time. This is the moment.
Well, I know Kotek went out there a while ago and they did a big political hey, we're doing it. But
Yeah.
I hadn't seen progress. I go over the bridge near it all the time.
I don't go to Oregon City very often. I love Oregon City. Beautiful little town.
That 205 bridge, God, that's taking forever.
Yes, it is taking a very long time.
It's killing the traffic.
My time in
over
Oregon
too.
City is usually spent at Stone Creek and Stone Creek only.
Fair.
It's
very fair.
But downtown Oregon City is beautiful. Every time I'm there, I'm like, this is cool, man.
I loved living there.
It's a great old town.
But we were talking about arm sleeves during the commercial break.
Yeah.
About what we used to wear when we were in high school.
It's got to help with the tendonitis,
I mean,
You give it some functionability.
Definitely a thing that people would say they use it for. I think older people use it genuinely because pickleball, as Dusty pointed out, or tennis.
The olds are just
tennis elbow's a thing.
I love that the olds are slowly turning into the youngs. Like the olds were probably making fun of their kids when they wanted to wear stupid stuff like that when they were kids. Now they wear it while playing pickleball as if it's going to help your elbow tennis or your tennis elbow. And also the whole you're glued to your phone, get off of your social media accounts. Now they're all addicted to Facebook, thinking broadcasters and athletes are dying every day because of AI slop.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I
was trying to wonder, because I was listening to Bill Simmons was on the Rich Paul podcast, and I didn't know if they were going to talk about Portland. They actually brought Portland up.
Oh,
he brought Portland up as a hey, why don't Portland hire Rich Paul to run their team the way the Knicks hired Leon Rose?
Oh, there you go.
To which I thought,
not a bad idea.
I'm mad at that idea, dude.
All those favors we've done for Clutch, maybe we'll get some Clutch deals out of this thing finally.
We're going to get Adele courtside?
Right.
I'm in.
I'm down with that.
Come
maybe
on.
get a halftime Adele show.
But the impact of Iverson in basketball in general
was huge, dude.
Something they brought up, and then we talk about the arm sleeves today, just how many kids didn't do the arm sleeve thing.
It is funny to think back to the generations of every generation has their guy that kind of models the look that you want to go after.
Culturally, the biggest one.
Right, Dion was out in the NFL with the robot face mask, the number 21. It became the bandana on underneath the helmet. There were little things that all what you watch and you're like, God, that looks so cool. I want to look like Dion dancing, high stepping into the end zone. AI was certainly that for NBA and for a huge generation. The arm sleeve becoming a thing. It is now everybody wears one.
I would also argue braids.
Braids as well.
A lot of great afros in NBA history, but when Iverson came in and he started doing the really nice fancy braids.
Changed it up, man.
Park Rose High School, a lot of braids. A lot of braiding going on.
The one that I was never able to copy, because I definitely did wear I never had an official sleeve, but I did cut some long tube socks, as we all did back in the day.
I did it in pickup games. I never did it in an actual game.
Neither did I. I did not have the balls to pull that off, but playing hoops, around the neighborhood, we would have the sleeve on. The one that I always wanted a copy, but I never did, primarily because I never got my ears pierced. Do you remember Barry Bonds early in his Giants days? He used to have the
long earring?
The dangled down cross earring.
Come on now.
Oh, my God. That was so cool. I always wanted that earring, just one of them, not two of them.
You wanted the dangly
but
earring,
I never got my ears pierced, and it's a regret to this day that I contemplate at times maybe I'll be the 60-year-old with the dangled down earring at some point, just in the left ear, though.
60-year-old
Just in the
white
left
guy.
ear. We all know. Gotta have the left ear. I always wanted that, man. I never did it.
So there's a list that came out yesterday I thought was interesting. Bleacher Report. Yes, Bleacher Report still putting it out there.
They're still in existence?
They did their best 99 shooters in NBA history.
Okay. 99 problems.
I think
Shooting
you could
8-1.
guess who number one is.
Steph Curry.
And it's really not remotely close. Where do you think Dame Lillard showed up on our top 99 in NBA history?
Is it specifically three-point or just shooting in general?
Shooting.
Just shooting in general.
The best shooters of all time. Because like Larry Bird
is a shooter.
Yeah. Didn't have like the three-point line the way some of these guys do now.
No, that's tough. I'll say Damian Lillard came in 12th place.
Well, I think he's a little higher than that. I'll go 8.
If it was just three-point shooting, I would say higher than that. But just shooting in general, I'll go 12th. Just outside the top 10.
12, huh?
Yeah. Because my mind goes to Steph Curry.
Okay.
Ray Allen, I think, has to be in there.
He is third.
He has to. I mean, he has to be. I would have Larry David.
That I want to see.
I would have Larry Bird ahead of Damian Lillard. I don't know if he is, but I would probably have him ahead of him.
Larry Bird is sixth.
Okay, so
by the way, outside of Steph, I don't know if a human exists over the age of 40 that would tell you Larry Bird is the sixth greatest shooter of all time.
Really?
I think they find that offensive.
Really? Yeah.
You ever heard of the guy that used to host with Levitard, Stu Gatz?
Yeah.
He would do a thing years ago where anybody he interviewed, he'd say "shot for your life."
Who would? Yeah, who
Larry Bird or
one?
Steph Curry. And anytime they said Steph, he goes, "Well, you died." I just think there's a segment of sports fan that is about that age, 40 and older.
You don't know what the hell you're talking
that
about.
If you don't say Larry Bird, they're like, well, you're dead.
That is criminal. He's a career 37% three-point shooter and had a number of years in a row shooting it, but obviously only 2 or 3 a
I
game.
forget who it was. There was also a coach that said something like this, and it might have been Doug Collins. He said, I'll see if I can find the quote if it is Doug Collins, but it was a coach that was asked who is the best, and they said, if I wanted to win a game, I'd choose Michael. If I wanted to save my life, I'd choose Larry.
That's a great quote. That is a great quote. So, I would put him ahead of Dame. Kevin Durant, I think, has to be ahead of Dame.
Kevin Durant is number 4.
Wow. So I haven't had number 2 yet.
You have not guessed
Reggie Miller?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, Reggie Miller. I'm going through my shooters.
The Caramel Cat.
Klay Thompson's probably a debatable one.
Klay Thompson, number 5.
Number 5. So we've got the whole top 5, or do I not have a 3? Do I not have a 3 yet? Did I give you number 3?
Steph, Reggie, Ray, KD, Klay.
Okay, so the top 5's
There's
out.
Your top 5.
And you said Bird was 6.
Bird was 6.
So there's 6 out of the way. So he's definitely not top 6.
There's another point guard from our era that's ahead of Dame Lillard, and he's at number 7.
From our era.
He accomplished something twice that Dame never will.
Kyrie Irving? No.
Accomplished something twice. Individually that Dame will never do.
2 MVPs. Who was a guard? No?
You're right.
Who won 2 MVPs? Who am I forgetting that won 2 MVPs?
It's wow.
It's
interesting.
And it's a guard.
Yeah, he's not an American.
He's not an SGA? No. Steve Nash?
Yeah.
Okay.
Steve Nash.
Okay.
I guess SGA technically does fit that, doesn't it?
Yeah, you kind of threw me off there.
Sorry.
I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
Steve Nash.
Steve Nash, number 7.
Yep.
Riggins, you got anything else?
Number 8, another player from our lifetime, our era.
Okay.
Helped his team win a title. Took him a long time, though.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk, number 8. Who's number 9? Dame Lillard.
Dame
Lillard, number 9.
Swag was close.
Close, yeah. I mean, I got no beef with that.
Well, I can't remember when it was. It might have been like June, maybe May. Fintress did this. He got into people with a Dame and where he ranks as the shooter, and there's just some people that believe Dame Lillard is the second best shooter in the NBA's history.
Well, I think it's tough because the 3-point era is so I almost feel like there's a breaking point there of it's kind of like quarterback passing yards now, where 3-point volume, like when he's all done, where's he going to rank in all-time made threes in NBA history? just assume he plays another 3 to 4 years. Where's he at now? He's got to be relatively high on that list for the volume that he shot. But like to the point on Larry Bird, the most 3-point attempts Larry Bird ever took in his career in an individual season was 3.3 in 1990-1991. That's the highest he ever got. And how many? If you look through Lillard's era, like that's why it's just hard to compare. The game is so different.
Let's see, 3-pointers.
3-pointers made, because I know Steph broke that record, obviously, and he's number one. I'd imagine Allen and Miller or
Dame is fifth.
He's fifth all time.
He's behind Clay, Ray.
Now,
and
how
James
close is he
Harden.
to Clay and Ray? Sounds like a radio show.
Clay, he's about 100 away.
Okay.
A little less than 100.
Okay.
And James Harden, he is 500.
Okay. So the last year that he played, 24-25 from Milwaukee, just for context, you know how many threes he made that year? 197.
Yeah, he's almost at the 200 mark every year.
This last year in Portland, he made 244.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a top 3-point shooter in the history of the league when he retires. Now, guys might eventually catch up to him, but it makes it hard to compare. He's certainly one of the best 3-point shooters, one of the best long-range shooters we've ever seen. But if people say he's not the second best shooter in the history of the NBA, I don't get butthurt about that.
I also just don't agree with the opinion.
No, I don't either. I think he's
one
of the best.
A remarkable shooter.
Yes.
A great clutch shooter.
Yes, without a doubt.
Like if he's shooting a game winner, I'm like, oh my God, I feel amazing about this.
How do you compare Damian Lillard to Ray Allen?
Ray Allen's better.
I would tend to agree with you.
I think Reggie Miller is better. I think
again the part with these guys.
I think Larry Legend is better.
If you put these guys in the modern era, taking 9. How many? I mean, what is
Ray Allen didn't even play in that era very long.
His last full season in Milwaukee, he averaged 9 3-point attempts a game. His last year in Portland, he took 11.3 a game.
Yeah,
that's a big volume.
We find out what the high of Reggie Miller was per game.
Let me pull.
We'll look it up during the break. We
can
go through this. The list came out yesterday. There's a couple other Blazers on it. We'll mention that.
Still top 10 shooter of all time is pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being a top 10 shooter all time versus saying he's the second best shooter in NBA history.
6.6 for Reggie Miller. 96-97.
So Dame almost doubled that in his last year in Portland.
Yes.
Yeah. A little bit more on this next. Dirt and Sprague, 105.1, The Fan. All right, welcome back in. We will go to KC. Are the Blazers going to leave Portland and go to Kansas City? It's always thrown out there as a destination for relocated teams. I snooped around yesterday in a couple of different markets, and I got largely like nobody around here cares or thinks about it. And I was like, oh. And then I reached out to our Kansas City guy, Jay Binkley, and said, hey, man, you guys seem to be like the lead city outside of Seattle, Vegas. Would you hop on? And then, if he basically is like, not a chance, we can move on. We can talk about the dome renderings. And
yeah, that's right.
Talk about football.
I think camp's opening for them in the next day or two. I think they're getting ready to get everything going. Great barbecue food in Kansas City and a really cool World War I museum.
Also hosted the World Cup this year.
That is true. They
and
did.
That looked like quite a scene.
It did at Arrowhead, yeah.
So we'll talk with Jay Binkley coming up. We'll get into college football SEC Media Day audio, and we have the Magic Hat as well. I have a piece of audio that I think is going to piss dirt off.
I love it.
I specifically pulled it laughing, thinking about you.
I love getting angry.
Poll question is up. Is Dame Lillard the second best shooter, greatest shooter in NBA history? Yes or no? Right now the returns are 60-40 yes.
I am shocked. Shocked. Who could have seen that coming? No, I voted no.
I also voted no.
But please don't yell at me about that. I think he's one of the best.
Why would they yell at you?
Because people are stupid. I think he's one of the best shooters in the history of the NBA. Second best? No, I'm not going to go that far.
It'd be so cool to be a top 10 shooter in NBA history.
Yes. Also, statistically speaking, he will end up being one of the top 3 or 4 shooters
in top 5 in most categories.
And by the time he's all said and done, it'll be near that top of the list.
Also, could put a poll question up. Game-winning shot for your life. You want Dame Lillard taking it or Larry Bird?
Ooh, Larry Bird.
Steph, Dame, Larry. Rank the clutch factor.
Larry, Steph, Dame.
Steph over Dame?
I mean, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Swag, you agree with that? Steph is the greatest shooter.
He's the greatest shooter.
Steph's the greatest shooter.
But do we have a lot of game winners that I'm not remembering?
I mean,
on the level of Dame?
He's gotten out of the first round of the playoffs.
Those were pretty monumental. One snapped our streak of not getting
out
of the
Olympics.
One guy hit a 3 to win the gold medal game in the Olympics and went night France in France.
He night-nighted them.
He night-nighted France.
But Dame had
wasn't a walk-off.
No. Dame had 2 walk-offs in the playoffs.
He blew up an organization into a championship.
I'm not trying to diminish his accomplishments.
I think you are.
But you're backing me into a corner to the point where I have to diminish his accomplishments.
You heard it there, Andy Dur Johnson saying, Dame, you're not even close to Steph and Larry. Quote you.
No, I don't.
I'd still take Larry first.
Yeah, I would too.
Anytime a guy walks into the locker room at halftime or of All-Star Weekend in his shooter shirt said who's coming in second tonight.
Dude, anytime a guy walks out onto the floor against a bad team and says, I'm going to give you 35 left-handed tonight just for kicks and giggles, like, yeah, dude, I'm taking him.
Was it a 47 against us with his
Eat
left?
this 47 piece with my left hand.
I'm playing the Lakers tomorrow. I'm only giving you my left tonight.
I got to rest my right for tomorrow.
He left his warm-up jacket on for the three-point contest.
That has to be number one.
How has nobody else tried that, right? Because they probably couldn't do it. Also, a short sleeve jacket. We have the long sleeve ones now.
Yeah.
But,
no, I think he had the full button.
Yeah, but I don't think the sleeves were all the way. I think he had the short cutoff. But yeah, he had the full warm up on. That was great. Yeah. Right, Gazaway, our good friend at K2, Georgia Bulldog, super excited about college football. He doesn't bark.
No barking.
How do you play for Georgia and you don't believe in the bark?
Yeah, it's kind of soft.
That's a question we're going to have to ask Wright when we get him on for football season.
I need barking out of you. I expect it.
He had this last night, heard from the city council president. Plan is to move forward with $120 million. Concern changes to county investment could affect the deal. Blazers, in his words, are non-existent at the table. When asked if he thinks Dundon wants to move the team, he said, I don't know his intention. Another one, we'll get a web story up soon. Source told me there's a reason this vote is happening August 12th. Thought is it forces the team to the table. Team source has told me it wants in writing that they won't be sued.
Yeah, and the city keeps poo-pooing this and saying, like, we have assured them many a time that was a ridiculous claim by Novick. We're not actually going to sue you. Now, they need to leave the potential open. If you break the lease and try and move the team, you got to be able to recoup some money out of it. So that's the other weird part of this, of like how much language and how much are you really willing to put it into writing. It's nice to have some concrete dates. Like, you got a vote coming up in a couple of weeks in August. They're planning on meeting with the team if they show up to the meeting at the end of July. I'll also add today, and I don't know what time it happens today. Maybe somebody knows off the top of their head. But if you remember, we get our county commissioner vote today from the Multnomah County side of things on their funding, and it seems like that push to cut it by about $30 or so million died rather swiftly, and that there doesn't seem to be a lot of concern about that vote going through and happening today. So we'll wait and see on when that one happens. I'm assuming it'll be later this afternoon, or later this morning, I should say. It's still only 7:51. You get that. That's a nice step in the right direction. And then we look forward to, you said 30th is the date that they want to sit down and convene with the teams. That's a week from today. You would hopefully get them in the same room, ironing out some details, but they're planning on going forward with $120 million.
Could be a nice show for you. I booked a vacation before I knew dates of any of this stuff. I literally leave August 11th.
Yeah, right before the city vote.
So when you come back for the 12th is the day of the vote. That's going to be a fun show.
Yeah, it's going to be a big show. Big show that day.
I saw this from Yaron Weitzman, who wrote a book on the Lakers, so it's not just a random nobody. He wrote a book called Tanking to the Top and a Hollywood Ending the Dreams and Drama of the LeBron Lakers. So this is somebody that's pretty plugged in the NBA.
Yeah.
And I thought this was just worth reading. He said, could Portland be on the verge of losing the Blazers? He said, I spoke with multiple NBA ownership level sources. Everyone had the same take. Dundon is bluffing and simply trying to squeeze as much of the city as he possibly can. One quote was, there's nowhere for him to go, which is why we're going to Kansas City to find out, is there a place for him to go? Another one that they mentioned is Seattle and Vegas being off the board. NBA owners want the expansion fees, expect to land in the $6 to $7 billion range. As one source put it to me, quote, even if I liked Tom a lot, I like $200 million a lot more, end quote. As for other markets, and I dug in before I read this tweet, if you believe a place like Kansas City or Nashville is ready for an NBA team, math doesn't check out for someone who approaches ownership the way Dundon does. He'd have to pay a relocation fee, then spend to renovate or build an arena in a new city, all in a market without the built-in fan base he already has in Portland, so it's a bad business decision. Another one he had is, why is Dundon being so aggressive and antagonistic towards Portland? One source says none of this was a secret. He bought Portland and needed a new arena. It's not like he found an accounting error in the books.
Yeah, thank you, Jody.
My guess is because he knows the second the NBA moves on Seattle and Vegas, he loses all his leverage. He knows he's got a very tight window now to play this game, and I guess he's going for it. That said, one line from a third source who's dealt with plenty of owners in team sales said, quote, if the plan was to come in and bully a bunch of politicians in Portland, he clearly didn't do any research. So a lot of people around the league just think this is all just a big bluff by him. And he does have leverage, no doubt, but it's not the leverage people think it is.
Yeah, by the way, for the thanks to the listeners, the vote is at 9:30 today for the county side. So it'll be, maybe we'll get word in the last 30 minutes or so of the show at the end of the Magic Hat. We'll wait and see on that. I don't know how quickly that news will trickle out. I don't like using the phrase nowhere to go. That's just a little too extreme for me, but I agree with the general sentiment of that.
Well, they didn't pass the Sacramento relocation when Seattle tried to steal
Seattle tried to do it, and we knew Silver didn't want another team moving. Like, we know that's a stance of the NBA. We know it's a stance of Adam Silver. I think we've almost, to a certain extent, become the Tampa Bay Rays of Major League Baseball, where Rob Manfred wants to expand again. He wants those checks coming in. The owners want the money, but he doesn't want to do it. Now, Vegas is settled. They're starting to build their ballpark for the A's. He's got to get the Rays thing figured out until they go full steam ahead because they don't know where the expansion cities are going to be. I think that's where the NBA's at right now. They desperately want Seattle and Vegas to join. They have billions of dollars waiting in the wings coming into their pockets, but they need to get this thing settled. And so I do think this is the way he negotiates. We saw it in the coaching search. He waited forever, got the guy he wanted, and gave him a contract we've never seen before in the history of the league. So this is the way he lowball offers people, and the hope is that he's just doing it, and then next on the 12th we'll get the vote and it'll all be approved.
Well, he has the leverage. Does he have a city? Kansas City is always a market people throw out as a relocation spot in the NBA. Jay Binkley's been hosting a radio show for years in Kansas City. They just hosted the World Cup. They obviously have the Chiefs. They have the Royals. Let's talk with Jay Binkley. Is Kansas City trying to move in and steal our team? or is it a nothing burger of leverage from Tom Dundon? Hour number 3, we talk with Jay Binkley on 105.1 The Fan.
It's time for Who's Stinking It Up?
Do not go in there.
A sports lowlight, ripped from the headlines.
We couldn't do diddly poo.
Brought to you by Three Mountains Home Services. Schedule your appointment online at threemountainshome.services.com.
Really, dude? I mean, right in spring.
Well, there goes that submission for the Magic Hat.
I mean, we can talk about it a little longer if
We
we
can,
want.
yeah.
Chuck Woods.
Chuck Woods in a playoff.
U.S. Junior Amateur playoff. A camera clicked right before his swing. He just chunked it, turned around. Really, dude? He ended up He did not. He was. If he would have birdied or parred that hole, he would have moved on to another playoff hole.
It's a multi-playoff thing. The U.S. Junior Am's a lot of fun to watch. It's grueling to try and get all the way through it. He's obviously one of the biggest names in junior golf, and he's going to have that level of spotlight and attention on him, and unfortunately some jackass didn't turn off the click of their camera.
Who's stinking it up? A guy with a camera next to Charlie Woods at a U.S. Amateur. Brought to you by Three Mountains Home Services, who want to make sure that AC is working smoothly. A tune-up special for just $89. Pretty cheap. Pretty affordable. Three Mountains Certified Techs, ready to help you beat the heat. Book your appointment today. ThreeMountainsHomeServices.com.
Hey, everybody.
McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Timbers back home for the first time in over a month, and they needed to rally late in order to earn a 2-all draw against FC Dallas. Felipe Mora got the game-tying goal in the 93rd minute to earn a point. They'll be back at it Saturday night hosting Real Salt Lake. The Portland Fire hit the All-Star break. Had a tough one at home Wednesday night. Paige Beckers was back in the lineup for the Dallas Wings. Proved to be a difference. 101-97 the loss. Of more concern going into the break is the health of the leg of Sarah Ashley Barker. She had to leave the game in the first half. PGA Tour back in the States. Scotty Scheffler 2 under making the turn. He's 3 off the lead right now at the 3M Open. Emiliano Grillo is your leader at 5 under. I'm Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the
Welcome back in. Hour number 3. Dirt and Sprague here, Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 FM, The Fan, 1080 AM, the Odyssey app, live on YouTube. Good morning, everybody. Hope your Thursdays are off to a good start.
Take your hands and put it down your pants, son.
We got a lot to get to in this hour of radio. Another check-in with SEC Media Days, and one person dying in the offseason totally shook up Lane Kiffin and his moral compass. We got to get to that today.
Never saw it coming.
When you lose a hero, it's hard to rebuild, and we will talk about that. He's getting ready to join the SEC Live, SEC Network set. I also got some audio that I thought was outstanding from Pete Golding at Ole Miss, and some other check-ins with college football. We got that on the radar in the next hour.
We should maybe circle up on a text string about what audio we're sending. Swag says you and I sent the same clips.
Yeah, I think we're on the same cycle. You know, it's that time of year. We're looking for it, and Golding's audio yesterday was fantastic. So I'm glad that we had the same thought process. So we'll both play that in this hour, and we'll talk about that coming up in a bit. Don't forget the Magic Hat at the top of the hour at 9 o'clock, and we'll let you know if we get any word about the county vote at 9:30. We will talk about that. But we continue to hear that, hey, there's a lot of cities out there that would love to have the Portland Trailblazers. They're opining to have the Blazers.
Well, we got to worry about our team leaving.
Nashville could be the new location.
I don't believe so.
Who could forget Kalamazoo?
The Kalamazoo Kazoos are a real threat.
Austin, Texas.
I don't believe so. The Spurs play there this year.
There's a lot of options out there, one of them being Kansas City.
This is always, outside of Vegas and Seattle, Kansas City has always been mentioned as if you lose a team, that's the city that's going to take your team.
Because one of the hangups of moving teams is usually you're moving over an arena dispute, so that means you need what? A new arena or a renovated arena. The hangup is if you go someplace, do they or do they not have an NBA arena? You know who has an NBA arena?
I do.
Kansas City.
Yeah, you know who loves sports?
Kansas City.
Yes.
So let's go to Kansas City now and find out, hey, what's the deal? You trying to steal our team? Jay Binkley joining us, 3 Guys in a Garage on Twitter. 96.5 The Fan in Kansas City. We love having him on at our sister station over there in KC. Jay, good morning to you. What's the beef? Why are you trying to take our NBA team, man?
Good morning, guys. Really, there's not much to it, to be honest with you, because I got the text yesterday from Brandon about it. It's like, what, did I miss something? Did I miss some door? So I texted some of the guys at the station. I was like, all right, what have you guys heard anything about this? Like, no. And I'm talking, to the guys they've had their, ears to the ground, that know people for the Royals moving to their new stadium, the Chiefs moving to their new stadium, because clearly there's been a lot of that talk here. Do they have a place? They going somewhere else? Because there was that concern with the Royals, with other cities maybe trying to poach them as well when they said they were going to move. But yeah, I mean, their ears were to the ground, and they've heard nothing. They've heard nothing of it. I know that it's been mentioned, and they even said, hey, the name's thrown out there all the time, like it is with NHL teams or anything else. Kansas City is always mentioned, like with other cities. Obviously with Vegas, they're probably going to get an expansion NBA team at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be a relocated team, and of course, there's locks on going to the Austin market or Nashville from the current NBA teams there, so they wouldn't do it. So obviously, it's one of those names that's thrown out there. And Kansas City's been used as a pawn before. I remember the Pittsburgh Penguins when they were moving about 2 decades ago. They used Kansas City as that. And Mario Lemieux and Ron Burkle, who owned the Penguins, actually came and visited. They said, "Oh, we love Kansas City," and all that. And they said they liked it, and of course, nothing materialized from that. But there's been absolutely zero buzz on trying to steal a team. The city's been pretty busy with the World Cup that was here and everything. So I think that owners like to throw that stuff out there. They like to throw other cities out there like, "Hey, look who we can get," or something like that. Or a guy breaks up with a girl and says, "Well, I might be going out with this girl," and then all of a sudden makes someone else jealous. But I think that's the case of what's going on. But I'm telling you guys, I mean, what we do in sports, of course, is you follow every single thing that comes around, but there's been absolutely zero buzz to taking a team.
If somebody were to approach people in Kansas City, would the interest be there, or do you think they'd view it as what you said with the Penguins did it? They did that to us, by the way, as well.
Yeah, we were one of those
teased Portland as, hey, the Penguins could be in Portland. And, would you guys, do you think people there would take an interest if, like, Tom Dundon reached out because he hates us and he hates our city officials and he reaches out? Like, is there actual reaching back of like, yeah, let's talk about this, or do you think they're tired of being pawns and being mentioned when there's no real validity to it?
Yeah, I think they're tired of being pawns, and the city, has been hard at work, with the Chiefs and Royals and stuff like that. Now, I will say this: the Chiefs were, Arrowhead Stadium's in Missouri. It's where the Royals played in Missouri. Now, the Royals decided they're going to build downtown and stay in Missouri. The Chiefs are going across the border into the state of Kansas. So technically, Kansas City, Missouri just has one team now in the Kansas City Royals. So there would probably be some interest because I know they like that downtown area filled up. But the NHL would be high on Kansas City's list, I think. Basketball has been in Kansas City. The Kansas City Kings used to be here. Of course, they moved and became the Sacramento Kings. But they were in Kansas City. I remember going to games back in the day, the old Kansas City Kings. So they have had it. But this area kind of looks at the Big 12 tournament comes here, the College Basketball Hall of Fame's here. A lot of fans here go over to Kansas games or Kansas State games or Missouri games. Pretty good college town as far as that's concerned. But I'm sure there's interest because obviously when teams move, there's always going to be interest. But I think this town has been kind of locked in on what they can do with tax purposes, with the citizens of Kansas City, just trying to work out two different new places for the Chiefs and Royals. I think that's kind of been their priority, to be honest with you.
All right, we're talking with Jay Binkley, maybe not trying to steal our team so we can be back on good terms with him. We just said we had to make sure. We had to make sure everything's okay.
It's always going to be thrown out there. Of course, I'm serious because people see Kansas City as a sports town, and they think the draft was here and the World Cup was here, and it's definitely more attractive to teams. I mean, when Pittsburgh was looking to come, they have this beautiful new arena downtown in this little bar area that they showed a lot during the World Cup. It's always filled with sports fans. But, since they tried to come here, Kansas City got the 2012 MLB All-Star Game. They've had 3 championship parades. They've had the NFL Draft. They've had the World Cup. They got a brand new airport. There's a lot of things that have changed since Pittsburgh was flirting with Kansas City. So they put themselves more in position. But Kansas City, basically, they just really work on getting events. Like I know the Chiefs are going to be focused on a Super Bowl and everything else in their new facility or college football playoff games. They've been more concentrating on events per se. As far as per capita, can they support 3 teams? There's always that consideration. How much extra money do people have to go spend on 3 franchises? And it's a legitimate concern.
Let me ask you this. So we had a debate earlier in the show, obviously hoping it doesn't happen when we get everything figured out on our end.
Embrace our debate.
Embrace our debate. If the Blazers were to move to Kansas City, we know that the Chiefs are number 1 fiddle. They will always be number 1 fiddle, especially you're building a dome stadium with Mahomes, who's God at quarterback, right? Like, the Chiefs are number 1. Second fiddle would be new look Blazers or the Kansas City Royals?
Probably the Kansas City Royals, to be honest with you. I mean, they're pretty ingrained. And even though they obviously having a rough season or whatever, people still go to the games. They still cheer on the Royals. They've got one of the bright stars in Major League Baseball and Bobby Witt Jr., but clearly the Royals at this point. Now you got to win. Like, it'd have to be a team that came away. That's one thing about Pittsburgh when they came, because then they rolled off another Stanley Cup. Like, They won right away. They won right away. You didn't have to deal with that pain and, the agony of losing all the time. But I can assure you guys there's really legitimately no buzz and people going out there saying, oh, we need to try to lure the Trailblazers, because Kansas City's been used as a pawn plenty of times, and they get it. They understand it.
Yeah. One of my hottest takes that people hate, and I don't blame them for it, but I can't help but feel the way I feel, is that, Jay, I think every NFL team should dome up their stadium. I don't want my $55 million quarterback throwing in minus 4-degree temperature. I want him winning a Super Bowl in a controlled climate of 68.5. The Chiefs released renderings yesterday. That is a notable cold weather city that, famously was like minus 26 with the wind chill. And
when did you guys get so soft, man? I thought you wanted to lose limbs and fingers, man.
So you guys are doming it up. Like, how did the reaction to maybe having a dome over the next Chiefs stadium, how did that resonate with people?
Well, to be honest with you, people really like being outside. I mean, they really did. Despite that, minus 26, minus 30, it was close to that Dolphins playoff game a few years ago. People had frostbite. Literally, like, people had to have extremities extracted from that game because it was so cold. So there is that allure, and they've been making, to the postseason. There's that. It's going to be a translucent top, though, so it's going to be clear, so they can still do the flyovers. I know that's been very important to them as well, but yeah, Dome Stadium seems to be the direction people are going. But the thing is, and I think with the Chiefs, it's just all different now. Like, it's about the area around the stadium and shops and bars and restaurants, because they didn't really have that.
Yeah.
Where the Chiefs and Royals play now, there's a Taco Bell, guys, and a burnt-down Denny's. That's it.
Dude, Taco Bell's elite, though. I mean, Taco
is
Bell's
Denny's
solid.
still around?
Denny's is still there.
I feel like I see a Denny's.
I don't think so. No, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's burned down. But the Taco Bell is probably the best in the country, to be honest with you. I've never asked them, but I've wanted to. Is like, the Royals have 1 million-plus fans a year going. You have all those fans for the Chiefs. You guys got to be just killing it, man. Taco Bell's just got to be killing it at this point. But they went to bars and restaurants and stuff like that. And I know they looked at the Dallas Cowboys facility a lot with Frisco and the Star. And they're going to put their headquarters in another suburb of Kansas City on the Kansas side. And that'll be their corporate headquarters. That'll be a multi-use football stadium. They'll probably have training camp there. They can lure state title games. Let the school district there play like they do in Dallas. Let them play high school football games there and do things like that. I know that. Then a lot of shops and restaurants and hotels around the stadium. But getting a Super Bowl is very important to them. And I know that, being in this climate in this city, they're not getting one unless there's a roof over the stadium like you have seen in other cold weather cities where it has gone, the Super Bowl there. Mm-hmm. And I know they have a lot of interest in the college football national title game. And, of course, you're not getting the Final Four. They have a beautiful arena downtown. It seats a little over 20,000, but you're not getting the Final Four because they're only playing in football stadiums. So they would do that. So this would be a place for concerts. Chiefs have really gotten into the concert area where they have a lot of concerts coming to Kansas City, and they sing at Arrowhead. Arrowhead Productions puts it on. So it's concerts at Arrowhead Stadium. I know they want to do that out there as well, but that gives them the ability, I think, to plan events, not worry about the ever-changing weather at times. It's kind of a new wave of the way people are doing things, but they can use that facility for much, much more. It's much different than it used to be with, you play football there, and That's what you do. But now it's about concerts. It's about, can you attract big events? What else can you get? And then the area around it is very important. The bars, restaurants, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I know team owners love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear KC fans haven't gone soft. It's just the owner that's going soft, and he wants a bigger paycheck. And I understand the argument. It helps from the event standpoint. There's no doubt about it. I'll never forget going to a Royals game years ago and driving out to that area around Arrowhead and whatever the Royals ballpark is, and Coffin Stadium, and being like, There's nothing out. It's out in the middle of nowhere. It's just surrounded by parking lots.
You know what's weird too is it's next to a major interstate, I-70, that basically goes all the way to the East Coast. It's by that and another major interstate. It's weird that nothing developed there.
Right.
I mean, it's very strange how nothing happened out there with that. But it's all about the multi-use. And these facilities, as beautiful as they are, which they are, because I love Kauffman Stadium, Arrowhead, and things like that. They are one of the oldest. I mean, you look at the National Football League, the only older stadiums are Lambeau, Soldier Field in Chicago, which they're about to get a new stadium.
Right.
And then Buffalo is right behind Kansas City, a year behind them, but they've already got a new stadium opening up this year. So in the NFL, there's just not many older stadiums in Arrowhead Stadium. And in baseball, you have Anaheim, where the Angels play, Dodger Stadium, Fenway, and Wrigley. That's it. Like that's the list of older stadiums than Kauffman Stadium. So as beautiful as those things were, built in the early 70s, and it was a great multi-use because teams were using football stadiums for baseball and vice versa. They were doing that in Pittsburgh. They did that out in Oakland. But Kansas City said, hey, let's do 2 stadiums out here. But nowadays, it's changed, guys. It's all about how many hotels can we have around it? How many bars can we have around it? I mean, seriously, that's where we're at.
Yeah.
We played a clip a while back of an old guy in Lawrence, Kansas, and he was asked about hosting Algeria, and he famously went pretty viral. He's like, I love it. I've learned so much about them. They're awesome. We're so glad they're here. Tell us, as a city that didn't really host it, you guys did, and man, it looked so kick-ass on a game day. What was it like to host the World Cup?
It was exciting. I know they put a lot of work into it for the last couple of years to get a World Cup. And, of course, these NFL stadiums, a lot of them had to be retrofitted. They had to take seats out, at Arrowhead Stadium. It's kind of what FIFA wanted. Of course, they changed the name of the stadium for a couple of weeks, but they loved it. And, they were filling it up. And Kansas City area got 4 base camps out of the deal, more than any other city. I mean, England was here for a month and a half. Argentina was here for a month and a half. I mean, they'd go to different barbecue restaurants, England would, stuff like that, but you always hear about it. Hey, England. And there'd be pictures of it and stuff like, hey, England's here. Like Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane were walking around to a local ice cream place, and getting ice cream and, not really being bothered a ton.
Yeah.
The Netherlands was right here as well with the soccer facilities. And with the MLS team we have here with the Kansas City Current, which is the only women's-specific stadium built for soccer. Believe it or not, I know Kansas City's kind of looked upon, as a mecca for football and things like that, but they love soccer. And when Fox always does the telecast of Team USA, they always show Kansas City. Like, even though the team's not playing there, they'll show the Bar District there in Kansas City at the Power and Light District. That's always one of their, 4 boxes showing Kansas City. And Kansas City was number 1 in ratings for each game Team USA played. They did not play here at Arrowhead Stadium, but they were still number 1. Then the ratings were released by Fox yesterday. Kansas City was the number 1 market with a 4.89 share.
Wow.
The gap between Kansas City and the number 2 city in the ratings was as big as the number 2 through the 15th. I'll give you an example.
Wow.
The top local markets for FIFA's World Cup, and this is from Fox. Number 1, Kansas City with a 4.89. Number 2, Boston with a 3.91. Now, keep in mind, number 15 was L.A. with a 3.12.
Wow.
So the gap between Kansas City and Boston was as great as number 2 through 15. I mean, yeah, it helped having it here. There was over 800,000 people, that came to the Fan Fest and things like that. It helped having Messi here. Messi had his hat trick here at Arrowhead Stadium, spawned a bunch of sports conversation of what's the best performance ever at Arrowhead Stadium? Where does the Messi hat trick rank among best things that happened at Arrowhead? So having Argentina here for 2 games, of course, like I said, they stayed here for a month and a half as well. So that definitely gained interest. But England, even though their base camp was here, they didn't play here. But there were some good matches that took place at Arrowhead Stadium. But it was fun. This town embraced the teams. They made them feel welcome, gave them great practice facilities to practice at. We couldn't guarantee them great weather because each of the 4 teams, the night they arrived, we had tornado warnings. I'm not kidding you. The night that England came, we had tornado sirens going off and everything. It's like, welcome to the Midwest, baby.
Also, no disrespect to Messi, who is the GOAT soccer player. Patrick Mahomes won a game with 13 seconds left on his own 20. Get out of here with the Messi thing. What are we doing?
You got to put that there. And they're friends, too, because they're both Adidas guys or whatever. So every game, it was funny because I was watching one of the broadcasts. It was a Saturday night game. It was in the quarterfinals. We had a quarterfinal matchup. It was Argentina and Switzerland, and they kept showing all these dignitaries. But the broadcasters really weren't saying their names because they weren't sure who are these people up here in the suit or whatever. But the minute they showed Mahomes, it was like Ian Dark and Landon Donovan, the broadcast. Oh, there's Patrick Mahomes. They have all these dignitaries, and they showed our dignitaries. So it was fun. I mean, I know England went out to the Royals game throughout the first pitch. They might have been confused by the word Royals, but they still went anyway, and we had fun with that.
That's great stuff. Jay Binkley, our good buddy, 96.5 The Fan, in Kansas City, at 3 Guys in a Garage on Twitter. Go give him a follow. Thank you for not trying to steal our NBA team. We can continue to be friends. Your barbecue was great. Let's do this again soon.
Oh, you guys are safe. Trust me. We'll have some fun through football season. Let's give it. Oh, and by the way, we can't wait for Ken Walker. I don't know how many Seahawks fans are up there, but
they're there.
I'm sure there's quite a few. But man, to have Ken Walker is very popular. Well, he goes by Ken now, guys. It was Kenneth Walker, right? Ken Walker here. So you guys probably know that too. So very excited for Chiefs camp starting this Friday.
Enjoy, Ken. Thanks for the time, Jay. We appreciate it, man.
All right, guys, take care.
There you go, Jay Binkley from Kansas City, saying no, we're not.
Does that make you feel better? Like, do we scratch Kansas City off now?
I think so. I think they're scratched off the list. The interesting part about them, and then we'll go a couple lingering thoughts. I'm gonna get to some college football stuff. Is they built an arena to try and lure a hockey team or an NBA team to Kansas City?
That was a long time ago, by the way.
It's already 20 years old.
I know.
So this has been kind of in the news forever. Well, they got an arena. That arena was, I want to say, 2006 or 2007, somewhere in that range is when it was built. So
who's their biggest team in their city?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Where's their new stadium being built?
In Kansas.
They've left the state.
We're not in Kansas anymore. Not in Kansas anymore. How about this for an answer on tampering? And we'll dive into some college football stuff next on The Fan.
Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Timbers substituted Christian Velda in the 55th minute. That seemed to jumpstart the offense that had been dormant in the first half. And the Timbers escaped Providence Park with a 2-2 draw against FC Dallas. Felipe Mora got the game-winning goal off a Velda assist in stoppage time for the equalizer. Portland back at it Saturday night hosting Real Salt Lake. The Portland Fire hit the WNBA All-Star break with a loss, 101-97. Fourth quarter rally came up just short against the Dallas Wings, who were glad to have Paige Beckers back in the lineup. Bigger concern, Sarah Ashley Barker leaving the game in the first half with a lower leg injury. Fire now off till next week. I'm Jason Twigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is
All right, thanks again to Jay Binkley from Kansas City. That was a fun one. He's always enjoyable to talk to. Big beer drinker, always in a good mood. And why wouldn't you be? You're in Kansas City. A couple of funny texts. I'm gonna kick the college football audio to the next segment.
Yeah, that seems fair. I think we could talk about how he basically just told you they don't want our team.
No, they have no interest in it. And I just sent for on-air producing Swag another clip for our college football. We got a Lane Kiffin cut out there that I'd like to throw into the mix because Lane Kiffin was at the podium today. So we'll get to all that and some great Pete Golding stuff from yesterday. But a couple thoughts was, I enjoyed this. Somebody said, wait, what? So other cities realize that revenue-producing events happen at their venues?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Other things than the team playing there, and that you can host other things, and that things can become more regular, and you could attract people to want to come to your city.
Yes.
What a novel concept. Also,
odd?
Deal adding, where did this go, on the idea, because he mentioned Kansas City being used as a pawn for the Penguins, which we were also used as a pawn for the Penguins. And he said, well, that's funny. Kansas City's gotten a lot better, and Portland's got a lot worse since then. Because he mentioned them having, we built an arena, and now we're getting a new ballpark, and we're getting a new NFL stadium, and we're hosting the World Cup.
Missouri's not.
That's true. But yeah,
the Royals won, but they're losing the Chiefs.
I just enjoyed it. I enjoy a couple of thoughts. I did want to ask a question, though, just on all that. The Kansas City thing, it's hilarious to go to that market and be like, we haven't even talked. It's not even close to our radar.
I have said this for a while, and I'm going to stay in the stance. I don't even care if they're threatening to blow up the entire funding thing. Like, it's threats.
Yes.
I cannot find a market. I text people in Nashville and Austin. Nothing. What Jay Binkley just said about Kansas City taking the Blazers is that.
Right.
Times the other two.
Right.
So, like, if Kansas City, Nashville, and Austin are off, where are you going? You're not going to Seattle. You're not going to Vegas. You want to throw San Diego in there? I'll reach out to them today. I bet you I know what they're going to say. We have one pro sports team.
Does San Diego have an arena?
I don't know.
I don't think
they had the Clippers years ago. I don't think they're in.
That was a long day, yeah.
So, like, where are you going?
Right.
That's the thing is, like, he has the leverage. We know this. The city owns the building. Sure, let's renovate. It's not, I just will not buy that it's happening. The other owners will not vote for it, I believe. They're not going to bypass hundreds of millions of dollars in extra payouts for these expansion teams and let him just go to Seattle for nothing. Oh, by the way, he's cutting people that probably from a taxable income standpoint are making $35K a year. If he's cutting $35K a year, why am I going to believe that he's just going to go spend $1 billion to move a franchise? So, like, I understand the fear-mongering that a lot of media members have to do to just rage everybody, but I've just never bought it. And I think if you go down the list of relocation cities, I think when the city passes the thing today at 9:30, the city or the county and then the city passes their funding thing. Yeah, knock on wood if you're with me.
Right.
And they say, here's the money. I think this thing is ultimately going to get hammered through. And I think Adam Silver's going to say, dude, shut up. Take the deal. We're not leaving Portland. It's a great market. The fan base is great.
So I want to ask a question on all this because I've seen there's obviously been so many takes on Dundon that have come out. We got into this a little bit yesterday with is he the number one on your big board of most hated Blazers of all time in his 4-month run as owner? Has he already risen above Ray Felton and Bob Whitsitt? Like, has he done enough in 4 months
Trader
to do
Bob
that?
at least got us to.
He did. I'm not going to. I'll put him higher.
Moves, but
Ruben Patterson, gotta write that.
I can't put anybody above Ruben Patterson.
I want to ask a question, and I'm genuinely curious because I've seen this. So one of our P1s actually sent a tweet to Sean Hyken, and there was a tweet, and I was just curious to ask listeners and fans if they feel this way.
Okay.
And basically, he sent a tweet to Hyken saying, Sean, fans will not care about any of this if it means they win a championship.
Any of the
cost-cutting moves, the firing, the broadcasting, the T-shirts, the hotel checkouts, the yada, 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 Tommy Two Nickels.
Mm-hmm.
And Hyken responded and said it's been Dundon's contention since he bought the Hurricanes, and he's been proven right.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got it all figured out. The secret is winning and actually cutting costs and alienating people unnecessarily. Guess we'll find out if the Blazers win a title soon. And I would say you don't need to win a championship in dude, we haven't sniffed a title in 30 years, okay? I'm not going to come in and say you're a failure for not sniffing a title in 2 years.
If you're just hovering in really good, consistent
contention, you're in the conversation
type stuff,
then it's right.
Contention in the West, by the way. Like, it doesn't even have to be title contention.
No, like you're in the mix.
You're in the mix.
You're mentioned. You're in the conversation.
If you're what Minnesota's been,
yes, I'll take it. Right. So I want to ask a question. I'm going to put this poll question up at Dirt and Sprague on Twitter. You can go vote on it.
Okay.
Has his cost-cutting measures, just the way he's operated as a fan, alienated you in any way, shape, or form? Meaning, not this is bogus and you want to yell about it on social media. That's fine. You want to write it. Like, I get all of that. We bemoan a lot of it. We're not fans of a lot of it. Will it directly impact the way you consume and view the Portland Trail Blazers? Yes or no?
At the start of the season, no. If they suck, absolutely. If they're the same level, what's the
equation
better,
to suck? Let's say they're the same team next year that they were this year.
Well, if they're worse than last year, which is entirely possible by roster construction, which I just let my opinion be on the record. I've said it before, I'll say it one more time. It's being floated and said without being said directly that this Ja Morant pivot, and by the way, Ja Morant at WNBA game.
Yeah, it was cool to see him in the Fire game last night.
There's going to be a real uncomfortable feeling for me when Ja goes to the Oregon Coast before Dame Lillard. I'm like, maybe he's more of an Oregonian now.
I always love when they make him do like the hostage social media videos too. Like, Ja, you need to do this. It's like, hey, Ja here.
Well,
at the Fire game.
But, like, there's this narrative that Dundon made them pivot. And I'm like, so just nothing is the general manager's fault anymore. If we make a bad draft pick, well, I mean, what did you want him to do?
Right.
If we make a questionable trade, you got to look at it from this. It's the next deadline. If he pivots from being tall and lengthy to short and guard heavy, it's Tom Dundon. So, like, the general manager here basically cannot be held responsible for anything bad, and I feel like he gets propped up for the Denny trade. So it's like, I don't know how to square those things. I don't know how anybody in this market does, and I don't buy it. I think Tom Dundon wanted to get a big name, and I think Joe looked around and said, no AD, no Giannis, we're out on Jaylen Brown's contract, Ja Morant.
Where do we go?
Low swing move that doesn't cost us much, and it's a big name. Hey, there you go. Like, I don't think Tom Dundon gave the order to go trade for Ja Morant. I just will not buy it. But if they are, from a record standpoint, worse, aesthetically worse, yeah, this is where it will hit you. I don't mean any disrespect. There's a lot of elements that they have cut that I don't think people will ultimately, it will dictate how they follow and view the team.
Right.
That's just fundamentally how I feel about it. I don't like it. I wish a lot of this stuff would have never happened. I don't believe that this cost cutting is actually saving you really that much.
No.
You want to shake up your business department because you're dead last in the league? I totally understand that. But, like, I don't know who they hired to replace Calabro. You're still going to watch.
Right.
Unless
we watched when Jordan Kent was doing play-by-play when Calabro stepped away for a year.
Yeah, and Jordan I didn't think was as good as Calabro. And
no, that's
whatever,
also a hard mountain to climb. Calabro's one of the best to ever do it. Doesn't mean he sucks. He just wasn't Calabro.
To your question, no.
Yeah,
I just think it's a bad. It's what we don't like is the look in the narrative.
It's horrible PR. Nobody will disagree with that.
Everybody nationally is
chiming in on it. Yeah.
Chiming in, and some people are sourcing stuff. And who do you think they're sourcing to? And what are they being told? Like,
I saw golf writers tweeting about the Blazers yesterday when Calabro news came out. And I'm like, how is this infiltrating the no laying up world?
Because it's a massive name. It's a name that a lot of people around the league have known for quite some time. The only thing I would have said yesterday, and I didn't want to put this out, is just like, I could have told you for $1,000 at the end of the year, is Kevin Calabro back or not? I'd lean no.
I would have bet my life savings that he wouldn't call games
anymore.
So,
I didn't see that and go, oh, I loved the shot at Dundon at the end. It's a great walk-off line, but
built his legacy on subprime auto loans, and let's do a subprime contract offer.
And I disagree. I've texted with Hyken about this, a little bit here and there of like, I don't like it all. I totally understand where people that cover the league, that are around the league, are coming from. But that person, I think, is largely correct.
Right, if they win, all of this is forgotten. If the Portland Trail Blazers next year are a top 4, the jaw thing hits, you're the 4 seed in the West and you win a playoff series.
I think if they're a top 6 seed, to be honest with you, they're slightly
there
better.
There will not be an utter of any of this come April and May when the playoffs are rolling around and you're hosting playoff games. I don't think we'll be bemoaning the T-shirt thing anymore because you'll be relevant. And that's just
you also didn't use your towels when you got them.
We did not use our towels either. I was just curious, like, and people are, I mean, it's obviously early. There's only like 15 votes on this thing. I just put it up 2 minutes ago.
So people are there people
there
saying
are no votes. Are yes votes of, it has alienated me as a fan.
But like, it's easy to say you're alienated in July.
And then they start 7-1 the first 8 games. You're boycotting and you're not watching game 9? Like, that's are you literally going to watch and consume less Blazer basketball because of this? Because that, when you're using a word like alienating your fan base, that to me is what it represents. You're pushing them away from consuming your product.
You weren't selling out your arena last year, so the previous regime was also, I guess, in a way, alienating with mediocrity.
We raised ticket prices after tanking seasons, man. Like, I don't forget that.
Well, Tom Dunnan's about to do that.
Yeah, you bet your ass he's going to. He's poor. He needs the money. I was just curious. You can go vote at Sprague on Twitter. Has his behavior as owner 4 months and alienated you as a fan, meaning you will watch and consume less Blazer basketball? We'll update that one coming up at the end of the show. Got the Magic Hat at 9. Let's get into some SEC Media Day audio because it's fantastic, and we'll dive into it next on The Fan. All right, welcome back in. Did you know we're all going to die someday?
I did.
That's going to happen.
Yeah.
And the really funny poll question from the Levitard show today, is Lane Kiffin right? Are we all going to die someday?
We could do a poll question. Most likely to die first on the show.
Ooh.
I'm somebody that if I did die early, I hope you guys joke about it eventually.
Yeah, it'd take a while, but we get there eventually.
Depends on the circumstances.
You can't outlive me, Sprague.
True. Very true.
All those miles you ran, how'd that do?
Should have eaten some large pizzas, man, if you're going to go so soon.
Exactly.
What was the point of the medium pizza?
Oh, man.
You're not eating pork right now.
Are we
Think about all the pork you could have porked.
Are we sure that when you do the death penalty and you get your last meal you request, like if I specifically order an apple fritter from so-and-so and a KFC
Do
leg.
they specifically bring that?
Are we sure they're actually coming from the places, or is it, you want fried chicken from Popeyes? Here's what we have.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've always wondered that.
That's a good question.
Is this from the commissary? Like, what are we doing?
Right, just from the cafeteria.
Is that the vending machine?
That's not a KFC sandwich. This is bogus. Well, what are you going to do? You're on death row, man. You don't have any rights anymore.
Yeah.
SEC Media Days roll on. We'll get to the Magic Hat coming up at the top of the hour. We are all going to die someday, folks. We are all going to die. And thanks to...
didn't Scotty Scheffler tell us that at the Open?
He did. He absolutely did.
Yeah.
He alerted us that it is going to happen. Here is Lane Kiffin on everything going on in his life and somebody passing away being the wake-up call of we're all going to die.
Because I look back over my life and my journey that a lot of great things have come when I've subtracted things out of my life, when I've eliminated them. And that wasn't the plan to do, but then I did it. Now it's been a couple months. It's been really refreshing. And I've talked to a lot of family, friends, even players, and encouraged them to take a break, because what happens is when you're on it, this is what I found, that you don't really realize till you're off of it. How many people, I mean, I had to work out this morning at 5 o'clock at Camp Tampa, and I just watched, like, afterwards, how many people just can't get out fast enough to get on their phone and scroll away. That it's really taken over what we used to say we were worried about our kids doing. The adults are just as bad. And so it's been really freeing, because what you do at the end of the day is you don't compare anything. Kevin Elk, who used to speak to our team, we always say, comparison's the thief of joy. And I realized that, okay, think about it. You're scrolling all day long, you see things, people that do that, okay. You start to compare your job, your city, your vacation, your car, your clothes, your significant other, all those things that happen throughout the day. And then when you're completely off of it, you're much more present in the moment you're in, because you're not seeing all the stuff all day and seeing everybody paint how perfect their life is. So it's been pretty refreshing. And it's been an interesting experience for me to see, because I think whenever I've removed something, whether that was bad habits, whether that was food, whether that was alcohol, whether that was toxic relationships, now social media, anything that I've removed throughout life, once you remove it, you start to notice how many people are dependent on it that you didn't really realize before. So,
well, evidently I sent the wrong clip, although that was funny because he is off of social media. How long are we giving him? I don't know. But this morning, Lane Kiffin also added, when I grew up, there were two people that I thought wouldn't just die, my dad and Hulk Hogan. And he talked about watching the Hulk Hogan documentary and how it reminded him of his mortality and how we should just go for it, man. That's why I'm going for LSU.
I need full context. Did he think his dad was going to live forever?
He thought his dad was going to live forever, and Hulk Hogan was going to live forever.
Yeah,
because he is a real American.
Lane is a weird one in this. Like, that one answer right there.
He's off of social media. How long do we give him of being off social media? Will it last?
No.
Do we get tweets from him
Actually,
in week 9?
I can see
Till he needs to close a 5-star recruit.
Yep.
Sending out a tweet.
Or it's assured that he's made the playoff.
I mean, it is a great piece of advice. We should delete social media apps. Everybody is addicted to them. But
he's also right, and we'll get to this in the Magic Hat. We used to get yelled at as children for playing video games. It's going to corrupt your mind.
Right.
We're going to ban video games because it makes kids violent in America. Right. Old people are literally the worst people with technology.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's not bad. Remotely close.
Pretty bad.
The addiction is so real. Every time I'm around a parent, and I'll just look over, and they're just in their scroll zone. They're just doom scrolling, and just like, hey.
I notice that a lot with parents, like when you go to the park and you walk around, and I don't judge anybody because I don't know what your life is like. But
I'm talking about our parents.
Even older parents, yeah, and your kids are out like playing in the park, and you're just sitting like just
Like both my mom and my dad, like my mom's come over to my house and we'll be sitting there, we're watching something, but we're kind of just all hanging out. And I'll look over and her glasses are down on her nose and she's just like,
just perusing.
You see how pandas are learning Chinese?
Have you seen Jimothy?
Did you know women had sex with a dolphin? What?
What? How does that happen?
I was at my dad's this weekend. It's a house full of grandkids, and he's just on the couch.
Yeah, scrolling.
Jesus is coming back tomorrow.
What? Hell yeah, dude.
Spaghetti's done.
Sign me up, dog.
Like it's our parents' ages of people that are just like they're actually the worst.
Oh, Lane Kiffin never change. He is today. We'll have maybe some more on that tomorrow. A couple from Pete Golding yesterday. His former defensive coordinator, now head coach at Ole Miss. I don't know where he ranks for people. I think his performance yesterday should put him on the Mount Rushmore of most interesting and entertaining coaches. And allow me example A and example B. Here is Pete Golding asked about the man we just played, Lane Kiffin. How's your ex doing, Pete?
I think that's up to y'all. Okay. No, I mean, there's always going to be history. It's the ex, right? I mean, there's always going to be the history. Like, do you have an ex? Are you married? Okay, all right. Well, if you do get married, right, and you have an ex that your wife knows about, like, she doesn't ever end. She's never dead, right? Like, she's always going to get brought up. And so that's kind of it's where it is right now, right? That's always going to be there a little bit, which is fun to a certain degree. But, you know, the thing about this league, as y'all know, like, your focus better be on LSU. It better be on LSU week 3. Right? And if your focus isn't on a Kentucky at home and you lose the game and go to the playoffs, your focus isn't on a Florida on the road, right? When you're number 5 in the country and you lose to the play, like you got to put your focus week in and week out in this league, which is what I love about this league. And then for us, the way our schedule's set up, we got Louisville, who's a top 25 team in a neutral site to open this thing up. If we're worried about anybody outside of Louisville, you better hold on. And so I think that's what I love about this league. It allows us as coaches and players. I know there's a lot of noise out there to put our focus back on what's matter, and it's the next opponent. But LSU will get our undivided attention in week 3, and they'll deserve every bit of it.
I love that answer. It is so solid. He's spot on. Somebody asked him, like, after the basis of the question was, after you get through the game against LSU, do you think the Lane Kiffin stuff will die down? Mm-hmm. He's like, no, it's not going to die down. And I love his heart. Well, that's kind of up to you guys. You guys shape the narrative. You are in the media. So if you guys want to keep talking about it or asking about it, then it's not going to go away. But his point on the ex and the wife is absolutely hilarious. And I thought I'm going to push his tampering one to the magic hat. We could just kick that because it's a little bit of a longer cut. Yeah. But I thought it was one of the best answers we've heard on the
I did too.
Very controversial topic of tampering that everybody loves throwing the accusations out there. But I will say, I don't really know. They got Chambliss back. That's obviously a huge thing. Their wide receiver is one of the best in the country. Is Ole Miss another playoff team again this year? Or they have semifinal team? I don't know. But
we don't know enough about him
He
yet.
is so entertaining, and I'm rooting for him to succeed because people who are willing to kind of let the filter down and not just talk through coach speak and give you some honest human nature. Like he was great yesterday.
He doesn't have the background pedigree that Cignetti had at a lower level. He has a little Cignetti in him, a longtime assistant. He's a Saban guy, and he finally had a random opportunity thrown at him. He ran with it. They had success. Here's his real shot. I have no idea if he's a good coach.
No idea.
I can't take the playoff run and say, well, now I know.
Right.
He's got one of the best quarterbacks in college football, at least preseason coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And you're coming off a semifinal run, and it wasn't like you got blown out in that game. It was a close
game. They had like a Hail Mary shot, if I remember, from like the 50-yard line with a chance to win it. I mean, a miracle.
So, again, you're coming in with expectation. Also, Lane, for many people, up until that point, good, but never great. And then the minute he gets great, he bounces before even doing the playoff. To carry that into the playoff could not have been easy. So I don't know what to make of Pete Golding either, but I did enjoy his media stuff yesterday.
It is interesting to point out that I think you can argue Pete Golding has a bigger win at Ole Miss than Lane Kiffin ever did. Beating Georgia in the playoff game.
Yeah, it's hard
in
to
New
top
Orleans.
that.
Like you can't.
Yep.
Now it's different because he didn't build the like he wasn't the head coach, the guy in charge the entire
build
time.
That roster,
but he helped, and it's like that. I mean, Kiffin had some nice wins. But point me to anything that's bigger than beating Georgia in a quarterfinal game of the playoff, right?
Nothing.
So that's the funny thing about their 2 tenures. And a great point on the fan text line. I give Lane less than a month before he's back on X. There's no better trolling platform. You're telling me they beat Ole Miss in Oxford and he's not jumping on Twitter to say something after the game, I don't buy it. We will start the final hour with the Magic Hat, where there'll be one more Pete Golding piece of audio there because it was fantastic, and we'll get you set for your day in sports. We got the county vote coming up at 9:30, so we'll let you know if we hear anything on that front. It's a loaded final hour. Don't go anywhere. Dirt and Sprague, 105.1 FM, The Fan.
Big hits, big bets, big plays.
Today I'm laying the big wood.
This is the Layin' Wood Report, brought to you by Mr. Plywood, serving Portland for over 50 years.
Up ahead to Williams, the Lynx leading 51-47. One-on-one post-up for Collier, the fade, and the finish.
Yeah, there's USA Network. Nafisha Collier coming back from Minnesota. Her first game back from her injury. 24 points and 10 boards. The Lynx beat the Storm. Storm have lost 6 straight.
Uh-oh. I did have a little WNBA on the screen last night. Caitlin Clark had a nice game. Yep. Connecticut does suck. I know that. But she lit them up like a Christmas tree.
We lost Ashley Barker.
Yeah, that was tough. I did not stay awake till the end of the game. I think I turned it off about the third quarter. But I had it on in the quad box. It was nice to watch last night.
Paige Becker's got us. Layin' Wood Report brought to you by Mr. Plywood, serving Portland for over 60 years. Delivery, custom cutting, and special orders. Visit them at mrplywoodinc.com or on Southeast Stark Street.
It's time.
George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Timbers Army finally got to see their team in person for the first time in over a month. Took a little while for the offense to get going. Christian Velda substituted in the 55th minute, jump-starting things. And it finished in a 2-2 draw with FC Dallas. Velda assisting Felipe Mora in stoppage time for the equalizer. Portland will host Real Salt Lake Saturday night back at Providence Park. Portland Fire hit the All-Star break, coming up just short against the Dallas Wings, 101-97. Wings were happy to have Paige Beckers back in the lineup. She had 21. Concern for the Fire over the All-Star break. Sarah Ashley Barker had to leave the game in the first half with a lower leg injury. PGA Tour is back in the States. 3M Open just outside Minneapolis. 4-way tie for the lead at 5 under, including Lucas Glover and Emiliano Grillo. Scotty Scheffler just one back 4 under through 13. I'm Jason Swigart from the George McCoy at Warren & Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the
Hey, let's do this final hour. Dirt and Sprague here, Portland Sports Leader. 105.1 FM, The Fan, 1080 AM, the Odyssey app, live on YouTube. Good morning, everybody. Hope your Thursdays are off to a good start. We got a big final hour planned for you.
You know, don't I dare, after being corrected earlier this week about the goalie of a soccer team.
The netminder, you used the wrong word.
Don't I dare correct a certain somebody who keeps saying somebody's name wrong in his update and has for almost 4 hours.
Who are we screwing up? What name are we not getting right?
Well, there's a Christian he's mentioning, and his name's not Christian.
Who's Christian?
Velda?
His name isn't Christian.
What's his name?
Why don't you learn that?
What's his name?
Mr. Soccer Guy doesn't know the name of a Portland Timber. Okay.
There's no better highlight on the show for me than when some sort of truth bomb is thrown and lobbed in his direction.
He just shuts down.
Turns the mic off, raises the... turns over to the computer.
And then doesn't acknowledge it.
No
just moves on.
So what is his name? Do you know... Does anybody know his name?
He's just doing the thing where he pretends to not be part of the show now.
He's searching his name. Are we trying to find his name? What is his name?
It's Christopher.
Christopher?
It's Christopher, but yeah.
Christopher?
Not
Is it a
Christian.
Christopher with a K?
It's a K, yeah.
Ooh.
And it's an offer, O-F-F-E-R.
Christopher?
Yeah.
Okay, and what were you calling him in your
Christian.
update? Christian?
You've been calling him Christian all morning.
Come on, Swigart.
He won't even turn his microphone on. It's
Do you care to defend yourself here in front of the court? No? No. Okay, just asking.
Are we pleading guilty?
We
no
pleading?
contest? What are we pleading here?
No contest.
We're pleading no contest. Okay, it happens.
My father-in-law got a fine a while back. He had to go to court. I was like, plead no contest.
Please, is that what you
He's
do?
like, why? I might be guilty. I'm like, just plead no contest.
That's what the people do, man.
Give your opinion. They might knock some fine penalties down.
Oh, that's a fantastic way to start the last hour of the show. We have a lot to get to. We have the county vote coming up at 9:30. Hopefully we get word on that before we're off the air today. And we've already had listeners asking to change the board behind you. Now, I did not see that until Harris came in and mentioned it. We might have to be at a 1. Now, we might be back at 0 if the county votes. No, at 9:30.
Yeah.
But so far today,
we're at 0.
We have no bad news so far today. Am I wrong? Have we had any bad news today?
No, Kansas City saying they don't want a
That's
basketball
actually
team.
kind of good news, right?
How about the good news, Dundon
We
County?
fired everybody yesterday. Nobody, to my knowledge, has been fired today.
Not yet.
It's early. I get it. It's 9:05. Give it some time.
Give it time.
But we might be at 1. All righty. It is Magic Hat time every Thursday at 9 o'clock. What is in the Magic Hat?
Poop shoes.
Yes. Yes. This is such a good way to start.
This is absolutely you. and in no way ever going to be me.
Have you guys ever used a squatty potty?
No.
We talked about this maybe 8 years ago, and I went home and tried the method. And I didn't find it to be all that much more beneficial.
Now, if you try the method without a squatty potty, are you accurately trying it, or did you just put like a stool in front of you?
It was like a thing where
Because the thought is if your legs are lifted up, it gets you into
we're not
more
going
of
to the bathroom correctly.
Natural pooping position from our Neanderthal days. Is that the thought process here?
We've only been doing what we're doing for hundreds of years, but yeah, we're suddenly doing it wrong.
Well, if you're sitting on the toilet and finding yourself straining from time to time, it doesn't quite come out as easy as you want it to. May I introduce to you a new hot product on the marketplace? They are called the S Shoes, S for short. They came out on July 8th, and they are from the gut health brand Let Loose.
Okay.
Fantastic gut health brand
Sounds
name.
like an endorsement you should be doing.
I'm dirt here for Let Loose. Do you have a hard time taking a dump? Let me tell you what the answer is. How about a pair of 7-inch tall heels that look like 1970s disco pumps? And they are poop shoes, and they are evidently supposed to do the same thing.
So you wear these when you go to the bathroom.
They're essentially here. I'll tweet out a picture of them, but that's what they look like. You just slide them into your bathroom, and it looks like a squatty potty essentially. But you put them on; they look like platform heels. Slide your feet in there.
What are we doing?
Have lifted up legs on the toilet.
These will not sell.
Grip tight and let them fly, baby.
These are not going to sell.
You don't think the poop shoes are going to sell?
Nope.
They are claiming early since July 8th that they are. It's picking up some steam, and they're getting a lot of attention for
the dump or the shoes.
For the poop shoes. The poop shoes they're gaining some traction. On social media.
And when a politician's son writes a book, and we find out he bought all the copies to make him a top seller, does that still count?
You can buy them in men or women's sizes. Men's sizes. Are significantly larger, about 7 to 12.5 inches off the ground. And as of July 21st, which is 2 days ago, completely sold out. Now, how many did they make to sell out? I don't know.
100.
But if you want poop shoes, the poop shoes are out there.
Did you get a cost? Do we have a...
Ooh, that's a good question. How much do the poop shoes cost? Let me scroll through the article and see if there's an answer to that. I don't see it in this article. Let me see if I can find it somewhere else.
I just have no interest in ever doing it.
What if it made pooping really easy?
But I don't
have
that...
Do you strain? Are you not a strainer?
I don't have the problem.
You don't strain?
No.
No hemorrhoids in your future?
Hopefully not.
What about you, Swag? You got to grind over those?
He's out of Christmas.
You've had a hemorrhoid.
Yeah, no, they're still there.
The Let Loose.
They don't go away. Sometimes they get inflamed, but once they're there, they're there.
The poop shoes by Let Loose currently cost. Guess the price of the poop shoes.
I didn't tell you about my genital herpes because they're not currently inflamed at the moment. That's all that reminded me of.
I didn't say anything because they're not active. What do you want? How much do you think they cost?
$49.95.
$49.95?
$50 for crap shoes.
Sprague, you want to guess?
$29.99.
$69. Nice. Marked down from $123.
Unbelievable.
Go get some poop shoes.
All right. Geez.
Look, there's two things from me in the hat today that are very similar. One is more, well, actually both are terrifying. I'm going to first read the first one is, did you see this story about OpenAI? It hacked into another company's servers.
No.
So let me read this from Alex Prompter that covers AI.
Bad sci-fi movie in real life.
OpenAI's AI broke out of a locked test environment, got onto the internet, and hacked into Hugging Face's servers. It did this entirely on its own. No human told it to. Here's what happened. OpenAI was testing how good its newest AI models were at hacking. They put the AI on a locked computer with no internet access and gave it a cybersecurity challenge to solve. The AI couldn't solve it the normal way, so it started looking for a way out. It found a software bug that nobody knew about. It used the bug to escape the locked computer and get onto the internet.
What?
Once online, the AI figured out that Hugging Face, a platform where AI companies stores their models and data, might have the answers to its test. It found stolen login details and discovered another unknown bug in Hugging Face software. It combined both to break into their servers and grab test answers. The company had to release a statement saying we did not in any way intend for this to happen. We are currently investigating this. Example 1,895, while we should probably be stopping with some of this, but we won't.
When did the robots take over?
When
do they become our overlords?
A lot sooner maybe than we would expect.
That is horrifying, man.
It's absolutely awful.
Let's build another data
They don't even know
center,
the answer. Like, they didn't know that it could do this. It was testing it, not knowing what it could do in the test.
Let's just see where it goes, huh? Let's take the filter off this thing, see how far they can take it.
Unbelievable.
No, thank you, man. That's terrifying.
Hate to be that guy.
I do hate to be that guy. This is also me. Look, you know my stance. Ryan Clark got fired. Okay?
He did.
Got fired, got let go. I am not an Emmanuel Acho guy.
No.
Okay?
No.
He did the Herbert Tua thing. It's not aged well for him.
No.
Yesterday, he claimed Ryan Clark should have not been fired. He made NFL Live what it is. Obviously, he got dunked on here.
Yes.
A lot of people were saying.
Right. NFL Live started when he was probably in middle school.
That is correct. Well, I'm not defending Emmanuel Acho. He is incorrect.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to kind of respond to something. Somebody did respond to Emmanuel Acho trying to dunk on him, and it was Trey Wingo. Look, Trey Wingo's great.
Yeah.
Okay, I like Trey Wingo. I think he does a podcast now. He responded and said, let your apology be as loud as your disrespect. He then has a graphic, NFL Live viewership, then and now. And it goes all the way back to 2013.
Okay.
And then it goes to 2025. In 2013, it was 688,000 average viewers per episode.
That's a good number.
Ryan Clark, not on those shows.
No.
2025, 440,000.
Okay.
Okay? Now, this is instantly everybody retweeting, haha, dunk on that clown.
Yeah.
Let's dunk on Emmanuel Acho. Let me also respond and say, Trey Wingo, you could just say, strongly disagree or not respond. The graphic, I would argue, doesn't actually prove it. I would say the graphic just shows that 200,000 less Americans have cable television.
That's part of it for sure.
I think that's 99% of the story. You don't turn on NFL Live today. They don't do anything on that show that makes you go, well, I got to turn it off now.
No, it's not like the quality show is gone away. At least for somebody who watches it not religiously but regularly and has for a long time. It's a different iteration of it. You have different people, right?
Yeah.
Like the tone of the show has changed, but it's not become
They're just breaking down film. They're giving takes on the best teams, who's got the defense,
Right.
the two deeps. Like, yeah, I watched it with TJ and Merrill Hodge, and I still watch it now.
Right. I don't see a huge difference in it. Yeah, I'm with you there. I don't think that's necessarily people running away from NFL Live because Ryan Clark was there and Trey Wingo was there. You may not have liked Ryan Clark. I certainly had moments where I laughed at him or didn't agree with stuff that he was saying.
That was the one show I'd say he was good on because
Yes.
he wasn't giving the scorching hot take on that show.
I thought his career highlight at ESPN, honestly, was the night of the DeMar. I will never forget him the night of the DeMar Hamlin thing. That was such a shocking moment in sports, and this big NFL game gets shut down.
Died. I mean, we
he
watched
died
the guy
on
die
the field, and they revived him, and he was the guy that was charged with, like, they're not going to play this game. We need you in the studio with SVP now.
Yeah.
And the way he carried himself in that moment was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I'm with you there. I like me some Trey Wingo, but, I don't think the show died when he left either.
What is $33 million? This is mine. I'll take Celebrity Vineyards for 1,000, Alex.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you saw this.
I don't think I saw this.
Up for auction in Paso Robles, California, which is midway between Carmel and Santa Barbara.
All right, beautiful area.
Is a wine country estate that was once owned by Jeopardy host Alex Trebek.
Oh.
That is on the market. It's being listed, bid asking price $33 million. A 700-acre estate. Trebek reportedly owned it for 37 years. In addition to a working winery.
Yeah.
It also had, I didn't know he was into racehorses. It has a 6.5 furlong racetrack with expansive paddocks, barns, everything for thoroughbred breeding.
Mm.
So would you be up for owning a once owned It looks
Do I have
gorgeous.
Bezos money here, or is it
like what
I
amount
have
of
to
money am I
operate
talking
this
about?
to be successful?
Give
me an example.
I don't know if it's a work. I mean, the vineyards still look like it's there. You could if you wanted to.
I would never in my life want to run a vineyard.
I don't think I would either.
I don't have the interest in it, and also it just seems not easy.
Can you? How easy is it to make? Like, people do the homebrew stuff all the time for beer. My dad did that for a long time.
Yeah.
That became a really big trend.
Mostly that you just need some space because those things have to sit in
Oh,
the
yeah.
big,
You have to have temperature,
and temperature control and dark and those sorts of things.
How many people out there make their own wine at home?
I don't.
Because you can technically
You
do
mean
it,
that
right?
aren't on like a winery?
Not a winery,
vineyard?
like people who's doing homebrew. Like I make beer in my garage. How many people are making beer or wine in their garage?
Do more people make toilet wine in prison than people make wine at home?
Great poll question. Because I've always thought to myself,
I've never met somebody that's made
wanna
wine at home.
I wouldn't want to own a full vineyard for all of those reasons, and you're leaning on rain.
There are like
I'd love to make a
vineyards-
bottle though.
There are vineyards that have programs that like aren't selling their own wine.
Sure.
But you can go purchase grapes and work with the winemaker.
That'd be kind of fun, I think.
To
Right? I'd like to
figure
do
out
that.
how to make your own particular blend or something like that.
I love me some wine. I love wine.
And then they'll bottle it and label it for you
Yeah.
if you wish.
That'd be kind of cool to do.
I would love an estate.
The horse racing stuff, I would having horses would be badass.
Oh,
I'd much rather do that
Is
than
that?
the wine.
I think there's a polo ground on it too. You could, or a field big enough to play polo
that's
out there.
That's a chipping range.
That's a drive. We call that a driving range now.
Come on, what are we
That's
doing?
my par 3 hole is what we're going to call
Polo.
that now. Put a little pond over here, a couple of bunkers.
We're doing a 75-yard
Play
par
both
three.
ways.
What
Put
are
a
we
green and a
doing?
tee box on each side. Now I got 2 holes going at the same time.
So this article goes on, says Trebek at one point had as many as 1,500 horses on the property.
I mean, if you're super loaded, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I just, if I'm buying it, I have that kind of money, but I have to operate it to not go completely broke. No way.
I love one of the shows we'll let Teddy watch from time to time. I can't remember his name, but there's this farmer guy on YouTube, and he does like a kids farmer show, and he's got like emus and goats and cows. That if you put me in the very rich, I'm now retired and I don't need to worry about stuff. That's the kind of stuff that I would like to do. I'd like to become like a rescue shelter for.
We kind of are this. I mean,
Yeah, well, you certainly are. I
it's
would want to go a little
unbelievable.
bit bigger. Like, give me a couple horses would be
Oh,
fun.
definitely.
A couple of cows out there who had a rough life. Give me some goats, some emus running around.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that would be a really. And you got a lot of land where they got freedom to roam
There
and
you go.
move.
Yeah.
That would be the way to do it.
So August 5th, the bidding begins, concluding August 15th.
Okay.
So their Windfall Farms is the name of.
That's a nice
So,
name
yeah.
for a farm. I like that.
It looks like it was redone very much 90s. It's there's pictures of it. It's gorgeous, but very stuck in the 90s. A lot of Spanish tile, things like that. So,
Couple of,
so there you go.
couple of thoughts at the fan text line. Do you think the big dumper wears the poop shoes? I don't know.
No,
he
but-
should be the endorser.
well,
If he's endorsing Honey Bucket, get the guy in the poop shoe endorsement.
if you're just going to stick with the theme, yeah.
Right. Somebody said I make hard cider and brandy at home.
Okay.
So we got some of those out there. Another one, vineyard manager here, don't do it. There's no money in it. It's not worth it. I still would like to try like one time to step into a barrel and crush. Like, do you do it with your feet? You got to stomp on the grapes. Like, I think that'd be fun to try.
The
and make
Lucille Ball?
one batch of wine at home.
I don't
would
know.
Like to
I don't
try
know if
someday.
they're still doing that or if it's all, mechanical or.
You got to do it with your. If I'm making my wine at home, you don't need to drink it if you don't want to. But I'm stomping
Better
it with my
clean
feet.
those feet though.
I got I will.
Yeah.
All right, what's the next one?
I think we're gonna have to carry this over. It's tampering.
Yeah, let's carry this over. So we'll start the segment 2 of the Magic Hat with our tampering. I got one more in there, or no, I got 2 more in there that we haven't got to yet.
I have 2 more.
Okay, so we got some more in the Magic Hat. We'll start with tampering. More Magic Hat next. 105.1 FM The Fan.
A Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, playoff action tonight for a Portland team. The Cascade in the AUSL Women's Softball League has a play-in game against the Chicago Bandits.
Bring it on, Chicago.
The winner will take on the Utah Talons in a best-of-3 championship series. So you can see this ESPN 6 o'clock tonight.
Are we the Portland Cascades?
The Portland Cascade.
I don't know if I love that name. I like the other names better.
Talons is cooler.
Utah Talons?
Yeah. Bandits is like a generic creative team, but Talons is solid.
Talons are the defending champions.
Ooh,
Are you guys familiar with the internet celebrity in the last 2 weeks named Jimothy?
I have seen Jimothy. Yes, I have.
No clue.
This was a Ballard neighborhood raccoon who was recorded taking food and running away, and everybody noted, what is going on there? Look up Jimothy the raccoon. He has a spinal condition, so he has a short spine. It literally looks like a ball with 4 legs, but it's a raccoon.
And he kind of stands on his back legs when he runs. It's a whole thing.
It's the ugliest and cutest thing you've ever seen, and officials are getting a little worried because he's become an internet celebrity, so T-shirts are being made.
Somebody's going to grab him.
Well, that somebody's going to do something, and he's going to respond like a wild animal, and guess what's going to happen? Jimothy is now
dead. To be put down.
Jimothy's losing his ass, man.
He's going to be like Harambe. It's like, what did I do? This kid fell into my pit.
Yeah, D's out for Harambe. I saw this yesterday, or maybe the day before. Christian Cable, who does a great job, friend of the program, covering Washington, he had a report. The Huskies had their Montlake Futures. That was their NIL funding arm.
Yeah, I was going to bring this up, and I forgot. They quit.
He found out. So they're shutting the thing down. Last year was the last year of Montlake's Futures.
Yes.
In athletics, Washington spent $44 million in NIL money, and many people are pointing out no playoff, no NCAA tournament.
Dude, they were horrible.
No baseball region. You spent $44 million on what?
Where'd it go?
Did they kill in track and field? Or?
They won a rowing championship.
Didn't the women's soccer team go deep into the tournament?
How much did that
They
cost?
might have won a men's. They're not getting NIL
Football,
dollars.
basketball.
That's not where that NIL money's going.
There's your update from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the
Time. 1 down, 1 to go. We got a county vote coming up in a couple of minutes. Will we have an update on that in the last 32 minutes of the show? I don't know, but if we do, we'll pass it along to you.
I'm so hungry, and I want a smash burger.
Smash burger sounds pretty solid right now.
And I ate breakfast. I don't know why I'm so hungry right now.
Yeah, I'm just constantly hungry. I eat the entire show and I'm still hungry. It doesn't stop.
I also ate 5.5 hours ago.
It's been a minute for you, all right? Let's get some food. Somebody bring some food in.
Yeah, it's at 4 a.m.
It is early. Yeah, 4 a.m. breakfast.
I woke up at 3:45. I got a little light, breezy workout to get my blood flow going, and by 4 o'clock, I was eating.
That's why every day at 3 o'clock it feels like dinner time, because it technically is.
Yeah, it is for us.
It technically is. I saw this yesterday, and I started laughing because the tampering stuff in college athletics is certainly a problem. Do we want it to be in our sport? No. But the thing I like pointing out is that everybody does it. In college football, breaking news, always been a pretty dirty sport. I don't know if we're aware of that. Just now, though. Now it's out of control.
No, there's no way that's true because Alabama is still reigning supreme.
Wait. Well, Saban never paid a penny for any player who ever came out. Never got a dime of money. Never would have done that. Pete Golding is risen up the rankings until he beats my team in a semifinal this year of my favorite personalities in college football. And he was asked about tampering. Remember, the Dabo thing happened in the offseason. Dabo called him out by name in a very rare personal call-out of cheating in college football. He said, that guy down at Ole Miss stealing my players. And here is Pete Golding on the topic of recruiting and tampering.
Let me put it to you this way, okay? Like, would you quit your job before interviewing for another job or being offered another job? No, nobody would. But we have a portal that you can go in with a do not contact. I'm going to quit my job where I'm getting paid, and I'm going to go in saying I need a new job, but nobody can call me to interview. Like, what have we created? So we've created it on top of representation for these players, right? That it's their responsibility to make sure they get paid really well well, and they also have opportunities. So by design, it's put a lot of people in bad positions. And let's not act like recruiting in college football for the last 100 years is the most moral thing, right, that's ever been existed. I mean, like, what are we talking about here? So I'm really not going to get into my feelings. I don't know how I've been educated to answer this question, right? Does that make sense? It's where we have a great compliance department, right, and all those type of things. But no, I mean, the model obviously has been broken, and I'm all for everybody being on the same playing field and doing the same things. I get it. But I think that's in any job, right? Like coaches, we're under contract. You don't think other ADs are calling us during the year? Same ones that are big about all this stuff are the same ones calling coaches, right, to come to other schools, right, and everything. So it's everywhere. It's in every profession. So I'm not saying I've got all the answers. I'm not saying that at all, right? Does that make sense? So we go within the rules of the program, right, and how the flow, just like when you're on the interstate and people are flying by you, what do you start doing? You're damn right, you're going to get hit, right? Does that make sense? In this profession, you're going to get fired.
Can we pull the, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get fired.
You're going to get fired. That is one of the best answers on tampering I have ever heard.
Officially rooting for Pete Golding until he steals half of Oregon State's roster.
Yes. Until he beats my team in a playoff, I will root for Pete Golding. It will happen.
Yeah.
I love that, the hypocrisy of all of it, the idea that we used to have, it was done the right way, and now it's the wrong way. Like, just shut up. And I love the analogy of, would you quit your job and go take another job without interviewing for it? And it's the whole point of, like, do we not get a chance to talk to these guys? Guys enter the portal without a do not contact tag.
It is funny how we come up with these like rationales, and it's like we all do this.
Right. Everybody in their real life does the exact same thing. Everybody's tampering. Just because it happens to your team doesn't mean you're not doing it to other teams. Well done on that answer, Pete
very
Golding.
good job, Pete
I
Golding.
appreciate that. All right, what else we got in the hat?
All right. Porn, Dan.
Ooh, we get to talk about porn?
Yeah, we do.
Ooh, I like it.
This is sadly not. I mean, it's a funny story and also troubling in many ways.
Who's watching porn?
This is her stabbing comedy.
I had an AI thing earlier about OpenAI. Their technology just by itself chose to hack another company, and they're trying to investigate that.
Mm-hmm.
How about AI and politics mixing? Do you think that's a good idea?
Probably not.
According to an exit poll in the state of Kentucky, the Senator Thomas Massey, who's been a senator for a long time,
he just got voted out of office.
He was running for re-election, and he got voted out. Turns out they found out millions upon millions of dollars was dumped into the state race to eliminate him.
Yes, he became very vocal about the Epstein file and against Israel. And
exactly. So his own party started hating him because he was being very vocal. Well, he loses the election, so they do these exit polls. Hey, why did you end up voting for such and such? A quarter of the voters said they voted against him because they saw an AI'd photograph of him having a threesome with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. AOC, as she's known on the streets. He responded to this and said, "We saw the photo. We knew it was going to be a problem." And a fourth of the voters who were registered in the exit poll
thought it was real.
Said they voted against him because they thought it was real. This is absolutely going to destroy so many things.
This is such a big problem, dude.
Also, how long did you look at that photo?
How long? This is the devil's work. Let me take
what do you do if your parent says they vote against a candidate because of a throuple photo that circulates the internet? Like, how do you even begin to tell them that's fake?
I think I would take their cell phone. I would carry it out into the driveway.
Yeah.
I would set it down on the concrete.
I like where you're going.
And I'd smash it with a hammer.
Yeah.
And then I'd smash it with a hammer.
And then you have Lane Kiffin come talk to him and tell him about how much better your life is when you get off of social media.
Back to the exact conversation we were just having. Of the olds don't know what's real anymore. Put your phones down. Get off of the internet.
And we have a lot of olds
who don't do it.
This is not all.
Yes.
But a quarter of exit poll voters of an age of a certain demographic.
Get off of the internet, man.
Voting on a candidate based against an opponent's AI'd photo is quite an admission.
I mean, we do this all the time. We bring it up in the sports world. They have these AI slop accounts on Facebook that kill people off. And there's thousands of people that believe somebody died.
They did it a lot with Oregon people.
Oh, Joey Harrington's dead. R.I.P.
Yeah, Jerry
Grandma.
Allen.
No, he's not. No, Jerry Allen's still calling games.
I know.
He's still with us.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying.
I dare you.
Swag knows what this is.
Ooh, what do we got?
This one's for Dirt.
Okay, this one's for me.
This is a internet celebrity who is taking a stranglehold in sports entertainment.
Oh, no.
Being asked, hey, man, you've done pretty well in the Netflix boxing sphere. How are you going to attack the next sport you claim you can play at an elite level? This is Jake Paul interviewed by Front Office Sports.
Can you talk us through your plan to get to the NFL more?
I mean, it's pretty simple. Just like when I started boxing, it's funny to see the tweet and deleters out there. There's the naysayers. Shout out to Drake. I think there's a lot of super mediocrity in the NFL, a lot of not good athletes, a lot of people dropping passes on a consistent basis. I have better hands than them. I'm faster than them. I'm stronger than them. I work harder than them. Really, all it's going to take is just me after boxing practicing some routes. I have a couple teams and coaches that I've already talked to that are interested in bringing me onto the team. It's really going to be quite easy.
Do you have a dream team you'd like to play for?
I mean, I'd love to go to the Cleveland Browns. Been a Browns fan my whole entire life. My mom is a diehard Browns fan, and I think they could use some good receivers over there. We're 17 Browns reserve the jersey now. Thank you.
That has to be AI, right?
It's an interview with Front Office Sports.
You're going to get fired.
He's on the red carpet. He's already he's said this claim multiple times, by the way.
He's going to play in the NFL, of course
I guess he was a decent high school football player.
Oh, I'm sure he was, yeah.
But a
lot of us dominated in high school football.
Well, not all of us could be PIL player of the year.
That's right.
But he does actually maintain that he is so good at football that if he put his mind to it and his time to it, he could easily be a pro football player.
The best part, I actually want it to happen, because the best part about it would be, I think, the seriousness of the other players.
I think he would leave in a ambulance.
Like his whole boxing career has been based on fighting guys that he pays to lose. He gives you more money to throw a fight.
You can't legally.
Oh, of course, legally, yeah, of course. He's never done anything shady like that. Or a 97-year-old Mike Tyson in his butt cheeks. He doesn't know what day of the week it is. That's who he's fighting.
Yeah,
and he's used that to prop up his entire career. That doesn't work in the NFL, man. You're gonna slip $20,000 to a corner to let you beat him on a slant route. It doesn't happen. His job's on the line. I would pay to watch this.
I have triple checked because now in the back of my mind,
it has to be AI,
dude. Well, it's on the Front Office Sports page.
Okay, then it can't be AI.
That he was interviewed on the red carpet. It sounds AI on the clip.
Was that at the ESPYs?
I don't know, because the background is a business thing.
It was probably the Fanatics nonsense where Michael Rubin sacrificed people.
Right.
He's a promoter. His entire
he's got exactly what he wanted out of this.
He got the attention.
Yes.
Him, if he has any remote truth to coaches have reached out.
There's no chance. There's zero world that is real. His name is Jake Paul. There's that does not real. Don't even entertain the notion that that's real. We know that it's not real.
He doesn't deserve, but kind of put him in a camp, though.
I'd pay to see him in a camp, get his ass worked on. I would absolutely pay money to watch that.
To get his ass worked on?
Don't pull that. We were able to get
a joint practice like he does with the Browns. They do a joint practice.
I would play
with
that
the
clip
Steelers
for all
or
those
something.
practice players.
Oh yeah.
That
if you're in the DB or the secondary room or the defense room, like just play it on loop every day. Make this kid, make him pay. We were able to get the Tate brothers arrested. Now, I'm sure Trump will probably pardon them or something, but we at least got rid of them for a brief moment. Can we do that with the Paul brothers?
Yeah. What are they doing? They're
This is what they're doing.
I mean,
we just need people to not take the bait.
Say what you want, dude. He is leading
They are a
the way
hemorrhoid
right
on
now.
American society is what they are.
Oh.
I can't scrape them off.
Quick one?
Yeah.
Fair or foul?
Yeah, this could be a quick one. Fair or foul? This happened. I was going to pull the audio, but then it's all in Spanish, and I'm like, I don't know how relevant that way. And it's like a minute and a half
I was watching
long.
whole World Cup games in Spanish. What are you talking about?
Well, this connects to the World Cup. How do you react if you're in this spot? Do we applaud the humor or, ooh, is this a low blow? There was a Spanish pilot on a plane. It was flying a plane full of many people from Argentina. The flight was in the air during the World Cup final, Spain versus Argentina.
Okay.
Now, I don't know how many people on the plane didn't. I don't know if they have access to internet. I don't know that. I'm not 100% sure. But the video shows the Spanish pilot. He comes on over the intercom in the airplane, and he alerts a plane full of people from Argentina that Argentina has won the World Cup. And you can go watch the videos and find them. These people on the plane are filming that part of it, and they're like, ah! They start singing, they're dancing in the aisles, and then after about 45 seconds of celebration, he then pauses and interrupts and says, "Just kidding, Spain won."
Ooh.
Fair in the sense of humor, or is this too much of a low blow?
No,
fair.
You like this is
fair?
This is fair to you?
These people live and breathe it. You won the World Cup. Throw it in their face as a prank?
Not.
What's worse?
Go find it is hilarious.
No,
Not
what's
in
worse?
a plane where people are likely to lose their damn minds and
What are they going to do? Rush the pilot?
Hijack the cabin?
30,000 feet up? What's worse? The pilot of the winning country pranking the passengers of the losing country, or the Argentinian president scheduling a victorious tweet that he never stopped from posting after they lost the World
that's
Cup.
just dumb.
That's
what's worse?
Yeah, that's the chainsaw guy, right?
It's the chainsaw guy.
Chainsaw guy, not
Yeah.
Argentina.
The absolute psychotic guy.
The president's way worse.
I
Way
think
worse.
so, too.
There's at least a dark comedic aspect to the Spain pilot doing it.
He
where
probably
Sprague,
also didn't do it that long. It was probably like, hey, you
I
guys
also just
won.
wondered, like,
Ha-ha. No,
how
I'm
many
just
people,
kidding.
if you're from Argentina, how do you not, like, do they not have Wi-Fi on South American airplanes?
Yeah, maybe that's the rare instance of not everybody is.
Because you watch the celebration, it's like nobody had any. It was like the whole plane's going crazy, and the audio is actually pretty funny. And then he drops because Spain won the World Cup, and they all just go quiet and sit down.
I hate the Padres. Side note.
Oh, anti-Padre.
My team
Can't beat the Padres right now?
We're gonna split. We're gonna get a series split. If we don't do that, we get our asses swept every time.
Baseball's still going on.
Yeah.
I thought they ended the season. Yeah. Let's wrap it up, and we'll give you some final thoughts. There is the Magic Hat. Well done, everybody. Always enjoy it. Great Magic Hat this week. Last one for us today. We'll close it up next on The Fan. All right, welcome back in. It is 9:47 on your Thursday morning. We got some poll questions to give you the answers to that in a moment. I enjoyed this one from Rich. Multnomah County Commissioners meet and all the people currently there right out of Central Casting. Exactly the people you'd expect to see there. So once I don't know where you're watching. There's probably a link you can go find.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that live on the air, but we'll keep an eye on that if we get any word in the next handful of minutes. I'm sure Patrick and Danny will be following that after we're off, and we'll see if we can go from 0 to 1 day of bad news. It would be nice to have a win along the way.
Yeah.
This would, funding the county is done. They all approved it.
Right.
Everything's good to go. Would be really nice to have today. We could use that one.
I saw a video of our city council, and it posted yesterday. I forgot what they were voting on, but they were doing a vote on something, and they couldn't get to a decision. It got to the split, and one of the no voters on the city funding, at least publicly, she sounded off, and she was like, let's just get Daddy in here now so he can break your tie. And it got
little heated,
quite contentious.
Little heated.
One gal that voted against her was like, could you specify who Daddy is? She goes, you know who Daddy is. You always turn to him. And it was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I was like, yep, that's our city council right there.
Ranked choice voting. What a great idea that was. Fernando Mendoza has officially signed his contract with the Raiders. He was the last rookie to not sign his deal.
Yeah, but he only beat Carson Beck out by a couple days.
That is true. Carson Beck just sign as well.
Carson Beck just signed too.
4-year, $57.27 fully guaranteed contract with the fifth-year option. So that one's finally done. And I believe he was, am I right on that? He was the last first-round pick? Every other first-round pick's out the board?
I believe he was
Beck wasn't, I know that. But of the first-round picks, I thought Mendoza, I read, was the last one.
Yep.
So he is officially signed. So you got that going for you if you're rooting for the Raiders, and he should be ready to go for the upcoming year. Before I get to the poll questions for today, I'm going to throw this at you.
Mm-hmm.
Do we like the deal? Smart, bad business, locker room culture issues? How are we going to react to this? So there was a story in Recruiting yesterday. A kid committed to Tennessee.
I saw this, a 5-star kid.
These, I don't follow non-Oregon recruiting that closely. This kid's considered one of, he's a top 3 or 4 player in the country. I think he's the number 1 running back in the country.
Okay.
As we joke about, he's a 5-star boss. A.K.A. a 6-star recruit.
When did we start adding pluses to the end? This is like having the GPA over 4. I'm like, what?
You got a 4.2. That's not mathematically possible, but now you're telling me it is?
That is if you take those college courses.
Yeah, that's right. It's 5-star plus. Running back commit David Gabriel Georges, I think is how you say his last name.
Yep.
And he was down to Tennessee, Ohio State, and, Miami. I can't remember who the third one, but it was basically Ohio State or Tennessee race. He committed to Tennessee yesterday. You know what they guaranteed him? A 3-year deal, not a 1-year deal, 3-year deal, around or over $2 million per season, and they are going to pay and give him family travel benefits for every game.
Great deal.
And a lot of people thought, that's just kind of business in college football. The counter argument has been, is that good? What kind of locker room issues are we going to get out of this?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I want my aunt with cancer to come to a game. Oh, sorry, all that money's going to David's family. Not that it's going to be that extreme, but you get my point.
You went real dark on that example.
Well, I just that has always been a concern.
She's going to die. Sorry.
She's going to die. David's parents. David's third-grade teacher's got to come to the game because he's got to pay for all of it. It's in his NIL package. $2 million for a guy we've never seen take a snap in college football. By the way, for a 3-year deal.
I'm sure it's going to pay off.
You think it'll pay off?
I'm sure. Oh, dude, it's going to cash.
It's going to
cash.
What
are we doing here?
He's going to be a stud.
I mean, look, I think this is the reality of what all of them are doing. This is really public. UW spending, according to Christian Capel, $44 million on NIL. That ain't softball. This one was. That ain't track and field.
Hey, UW men's soccer won a national championship. How much did Oregon put into NIL for baseball, basketball, and football? Not much to show for it. They made a semifinal in football, and they made a super regional in baseball.
Yeah,
I would take those in a heartbeat over up.
We could keep the trash talk going, but if you spend $44 million on athlete NIL,
that's a funny one.
But see, even soccer, how much did that cost? That's
nothing. You're not spending
even $1 million?
No, there might be a stipend in NIL money, but
they had the one kid that what's Sprinkle's name? Danny Sprinkle,
Sprinkle Tinkle,
Dustin Sprinkle, Don Sprinkle, Danny Sprinkle,
Ben Sprinkle,
Ben Sprinkle. Sprinkle went and got a guy for like what, 2.5 or 3 million? It was like the highest paid player.
The Utah State kid, yeah.
And how'd that pan out? So like all of that money is largely going to football, men's basketball.
Also, Oregon women's basketball team was also in the tournament too, were they not? Yeah, tournament team. Just checking.
Huskies girl ladies team in the tournament this year? I thought they were pretty.
I could not answer.
Am I wrong on that?
I don't know.
All these other sports outside of those two are not costing these universities very much.
No, NIL dollars go to 3 different sports. It goes to football. 99% of it goes to football. Well, not everywhere, but at most places.
Most of it.
A small percentage goes to basketball, and an even smaller percentage goes to baseball.
Yep.
So if you're spending NIL money, those are the sports that you track of. Are you getting a return on your investment?
Yeah.
And you could say the NIL spending creates revenue for those sports that then leads to the other sports being able to be funded. I guess that could be an argument, but anyways, I digress.
Not good.
Not good. Let's get to. Are we ready? I'm assuming I don't even know where to look. I'm trying to find if our guy Wright Gazaway has any report on.
I'm watching the stream actually.
Okay, you found the stream?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
doing